This is the best possible start for fighters in Ashes of Creation. Fighter being one of the most fun and well-polished classes so far. Now, I'm going to get you to level 8 or 9, depending on how much you have to grind and how much luck there is involved, with best-in-slot crafted weapons pre-level 10. Alright, you're going to become so overpowered to be able to solo everything with ease and smash level 10 content. This guide will make it as simple, easy, and effortless as possible, with no luck involved, all completely solo, which means no guild, no friends, and no grouping required at all. Unlike all of those other guides that tells you to go to group spots, I'm going to give you all the best solo spots. Let's get into it. When making your character, your starting region must be the Divine Gateway of the Dunzenkel. If you pick the other starting location, the Gateway of the Ayla, which is known as the Riverlands down here, you will not be able to follow this guide. The reason we are starting at the Dunzenkel, even though it is a work in progress, it's way more streamlined, it's way faster, more efficient, more neatly organized, and less populated. Now, when you spawn in, the first thing that you want to do is instead change out your short bow for a long bow. The reason why is the long bow will give you more attack power, and you're going to pull plenty quickly with it anyway. To find the long bow, look to your right, and you'll see a large stone pillar. Walk over to it, and right behind the stone pillar, there are some tables. You'll see these like tables with candles on them. On the lefternmost table, on the lefternmost side, is a splintered longbow. So just push I to open your inventory, right-click it, and that will swap out for the short bow. So you can see the difference is more physical power and more physical crit power. And yes, this guy's spazzing out with the the crate over there in the background. But now that you've spawned in, it's time to get started with some beginner quests. In order to take the correct quest path, we want to go to Hammer Rest. Here's how you do it. In front of you are two NPCs, Gatewatcher Stonebeard and Nahotu. You're going to go on to the left side and talk to Stonebeard, and you're going to select Might and Industry. Now, this will put you onto the Hammer Rest path, which is to the right side of the mountain. Though we're taking a left here because we're facing south. And again, our goal is to go through the quest path, and we will end up outside here at Hammer's Rest. This is where we're going. The reason we're going Hammer's Rest is because it's a more streamlined, better quest path. It's closer to grind spots. It's got more gathering areas than the other pathway. So just keep that in mind, that as these guides get popular, that more and more people will be going this way. But, if you get in early, or if these guides get old and you remember the info, then maybe not so many people will be here. But it's not about how many people are doing it. It's about how efficient the zone itself is. Before you start doing the first quest to kill 5 empty Claiborne, you're going to do some Destiny quests instead. Let me explain what that is. So if you push the L button, you'll open up the Destinies panel. And right now we have First Steps and Novice Combat. So what we're going to do is we're going to do as many of these novice combats as possible to unlock better loot rewards, which will make questing a lot faster. Alright, we also have some stuff in First Steps to do. For example, in First Steps, we have here at the bottom, use rations to rest and heal. Well, we don't have any yet, but the first Claiborne that you kill will drop some. Always, every single time. So go ahead and start completing these. So you'll notice here we need to attack 10 times with melee, range, sprint once, dodge 3 times, etc. So, as you kill these enemy or empty Claiborne, just go ahead and knock these out as you do it. So, let me show you an example. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to run a little bit deeper into the room here. I know there's text on screen, it's hard to see. But that way, like if you're up front, the NPCs will kill the statues. And yes, these are statues. They will only come to life when you attack. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to do the melee 10 times. So while that's going on, you'll notice that I have right here 4, 5, this will start counting up. And then once it counts to 10, we will have completed that destiny. All right, there we go, we did it. And let me just go ahead and finish this guy off real quick. There we go. Now, again, you'll notice that when I killed these, they loot these red clay chunks. Now, the cool thing, also, by the way, is that as long as you're level 1 and you're killing these, they will continue to drop these red clay chunks. I don't know how that's programmed or if that will be always in the game, But right now, you can kind of take advantage of it, even though these items aren't really worth anything and they're not that good. If you killed these Clayborn until you're level 2, you should have a bunch of red clay chunks. Let me kill this guy real quick because I accidentally aggroed him. But go ahead and just right-click some red clay chunks, even if you don't need to. Once you're out of combat, that is, your character will sit down, and then you will start feasting. Once you've done that, you will complete the first step here to use rations to rest and heal. You can claim this, you can hit this claim button. And then by killing the level 1 mobs, you will have looted 5 items. You can also claim that, giving you more XP rewards. And then by just right-clicking and doing melee, we've completed the, 10 melees. But what you need to do now is, and you could do this on your own, I don't have to show you every example, is just do all of these on your screen on these Clayborn. Once you've done those Destiny quests and you've killed the 5 Clayborn, you can proceed to the next quest marker, which if you open your map by pushing Ilm, you just follow the very linear path. And by the way, if you're afraid of falling off, don't worry, there's invisible walls. This is the only place in the game that I have found invisible walls so far. I've been playing, a long time, alright? So, again, don't be afraid that you might auto-run off the ledge or something. Just go to the next quest marker, talk to the NPC, and get the follow-up. And when you do this, you will receive an amulet. So, push I, and then you have the Pinion of the Hammer, which is crit chance and evasion. Go ahead and equip that, which also completes another one of your novice combat destinies. And by doing 6 out of 8 so far, we now have a lost weapons chest, which we can now claim. We're going to go ahead and open that lost weapon chest and claim the lost great sword. Now, you'll see that this is a slight upgrade from your rusty great sword. So, it's totally worth doing, but after that, proceed to the next quest marker. And don't worry about killing the Clayborn. They're not really worth it. Right now, there's better ones up ahead that we can grind on with better drop rates. Once you get to the NPC, we're going to then get the follow-up, which has us actually go backwards and talk to this NPC over here to teach us how to bind to whatever this thing is called, the Ember Spring. There we go. I don't think it's called an Ember Spring. This area is called Ember Spring. Anyway, so we're gonna run back to the original NPC now and turn that in and get the next follow-up. There we go. Alright, which wants us to defeat a Stone Woke Automata, which are these little robot scorpion things. Now, you may get lucky and you might get the item drop on the first kill. Otherwise, it's like 2 to 3 kills, but these things are insanely easy. They're low level. I know we have some skill points to allocate. We will do that in just a bit after we get to the next quest objective. So if the NPCs keep killing the mobs before you get them down to below half, you won't get kill credit for them, so just keep going ahead. There's plenty in front. Now, on your way, you're going to encounter Archaeologist Hatcher here, and just say you'll help him out. Walk up to this stone thing and push the clean button, which is F for me. Sometimes this bugs out and completes automatically when you walk up to this. I don't know why. Sometimes it won't even let you push interact. It's buggy. But don't forget, you need to talk to him and turn in that quest. A lot of people that I've seen, they just walk past him and they just have this quest completed in their log. I don't know if it's like a streamer curse or what, but after that, we're going to proceed to the next NPC up ahead. Now, there is a warning about this quest, which we still need to do it. We're going to talk to Ash, turn this in, and get the follow-up. So he wants us to take a crate and turn it into another NPC, and the crates are right over here. Now, let me explain PvP safety for a sec, for those that don't know. You see this little dove icon that says PvP opt-in protection? This means that if someone flags up, they can't hurt me. But if I flag up, then we can both hurt each other, right? Now, picking up a trade pack, which is what this thing is, will remove your PvP protection. Observe, I pick up the trade pack, and now I can be murdered by other players. And a higher level player actually just rode up ahead of me. He could be waiting in ambush. Maybe not. Most people are pretty nice because it's an alpha. But, by the way, while moving a trade pack, I know we have a mount, and using the mount will not make you go faster. In order to go faster, you can use sprint, or you can just combat dodge roll forward. And that's a little bit faster way to travel while having one of these on. Now, later, you will get what's called a Beast of Burden mount, and that's what you will use to transport these. You will also use boats or caravans, but that's for another video for another time. But as a new player, what you want to do is you want to very quickly turn this in before someone decides to attack you. There are no guards around. to protect you if you get attacked. And if you die, I'm going to explain now the penalty for death. If you die, you will have a 25% trash rate on your resources in your materials bag. And then you will drop 25% of whatever resources remain, which anyone can loot. And if they do loot it, they become a criminal for 3 minutes. So they just hang out until they unflag. But you can return to your corpse and get back 25% of those materials that you dropped. And you retain the other 50%. So really, if you die and there's no one to loot you, you only lost 25% of your materials, alright? So it's very important early game not to die because we want early money. But again, we're just going to talk to this NPC, and now we're level 3, and now we're going to allocate some skills because the enemies up ahead are a little bit more tough. But before we do that, we need to open some of these chests. We have a Lost Men's Arm Guard box, hands, and chest. And as a fighter, especially levels 1 to 10, as a fighter, later on, if you want to specialize in fighting single target, you would wear leather. If you want to be a mage fighter with magical weapons, with a specific build, you would wear light armor or cloth armor. For levels 1 to 10, the majority of enemies we will be grinding on are all physical based. There's like 2 casters in the mix, and they're very easy to tank. Also, for a fighter, we want to have as much defense as possible, because we're going to be AoE mass cleaving mobs down. So this means all of the rewards that we choose from these chests need to be plate or heavy armor. So when I open this Lost Men Arm Guards box, it gives us 3 choices. Obviously, this one is the shiniest. That means it's usually plate. But you can see here, in the box, it says common heavy armor. That means it's plate armor. That's what we want to wear, is the heavy armor. It'll be physical defense. And these do have physical boosting traits like dexterity and crit chance. So I'm going to select the bracers. In the hands, I'm going to select the lost gloves. And for the chest piece, I will select the breastplate. And then I'm going to right-click and equip all of these. And now we just gained a lot of defense. By the way, it takes about 3 to 5 minutes for that little PvP icon, and it looks like I've been recognized by Sombra here. He says, "Hey, Swolbage, enjoy the game." I get recognized in every game I play, man. He could just be a friendly random. Anyway, you'll eventually see that little dove icon reappear here. It just takes a little bit of time. Don't be too afraid. Now, because the mobs ahead are a little bit risky to fight, not really risky, they can, I've seen people die. You're going to take your mount and hotkey it to your hotbar so that it operates like this. It operates in a similar way to Arcade or kind of sort of Albion if you play that game. But your mount is now summoned. You walk up and you push. You would normally push G to mount it, but is it bugged? No, it's not. Okay, there we go. Now we mounted it. You also want to hotkey your dash ability from your mount so that you can run faster. And so generally what you're going to do is if you're in combat and you know that you're not going to be able to kill the enemies before they kill you, and you don't want to die. By the way, I also forgot to mention, when you die, you incur an experience debt. So at a low level, it's like 2 mobs worth of debt. But the way it works is you don't lose experience points when you die. You just go into debt. And your debt will be like a red bar on your experience. And whenever you kill mobs, that bar will go away. When you have paid the debt. So dying is not very good in this game. You should not die. Look, this player who just said hi to me, he is running for his life because he's only level 2, right? And we're level 3. Why is he only level 2? Well, he I don't know, he's doing his own thing, I guess. But anyway, yeah, see, now he's running on foot, which is not what you want to do. This is why I'm teaching you how to do this. So if we were in that player's case, and no, he is not a paid actor, I swear. The next area, people get beat up and they lose their stuff. I'm not joking. So let's say you're dying. You're about to die. Your HP is very low. You're going to summon mount up and dash away. And you're going to run away. And if you look on your mini-map, you will see arrows if the enemy is chasing you. You're going to continue to run away from the mobs until those arrows turn around and leave or face the other direction or stop chasing you. An alternative is if you get far enough ahead, you can use your mount and climb up somewhere high up if it's just a melee mob with no ranged attacks. Like, maybe I could jump up here, and you can kind of use your mount to, like, jump sometimes. Kind of like that. And I might be stuck. Yeah. No, I'm not stuck, but yeah, anyway. That is a few things that you can do with your mount in order to be a little bit safer. And there are places where you have to use your mount to jump off of, kind of like Super Mario and Yoshi, if you remember those old games. Let me give you an example. Yeah, using the mount as a stepping stone is very important to learn. Let me show you how to get to this Raven Fox NPC up here on this ledge. Is that a mob? Yeah, that's a mob chasing somebody. So I'm going to jump up here, and this is useful if there are players shooting you from, you know, verticality or like a higher up point. It's also useful to get away from mobs or to just find shortcuts in the open world. So you'll notice this ledge here. If I try to jump to it, there's really not much I can do. But by using the mount and just kind of jumping off its back at the apex of our jump or at the top of the jump, we can then climb and hoist ourselves up here, talk to the Raven Fox who says, you got some skills, you'd make a good burglar, not as good as me. Someone needs to steal Grandma's purse. No, don't steal Grandma's purse. But yeah, so that is how you do verticality. Now, just note that as a fighter, you can only get so high, whereas rogues with a grappling hook can get highest, and then also rangers with their disengage. I forget what the spell's called, but they do a backflip in the air. They can get pretty high as well because they can jump off the mount, then disengage in the air, jumping even higher. But we're going to proceed into this room, and I don't know why, but currently the Claiborne Guardians on the left side are bugged and will not drop the quest item you need. But the ones on the right will. So for the quest of collecting the 3 Heartstones, just kill the ones on the right side. Again, I don't know when this will get fixed. Before we do that, if you push K, we have some skills to allocate. And I need to teach you a little bit of how to use the fighter in the way the mechanics work. We also have weapon skills and stamina skills to allocate. So to start, what you're going to learn is Whirlwind, and your second point is going to be on Overdrive for Whirlwind. So what this does, it lets you keep Whirlwinding after the ability ends, draining all of your momentum. So we're going to confirm that, put it on a hotkey that we like. I'm also going to be moving Overpower here, dropping that. And I also want to explain Form of Ferocity. So this is your stance. It's kind of like a warrior in World of Warcraft. So is your momentum. Think of it as rage. Very similar systems. So, Form of Ferocity, and this is just something you cast, and now you're in that form. You don't have to worry about it after that. Now, if you die or log out, it does get rid of the form, so you have to recast it. So keep that in mind. But you can read the description here. It lets your Overpower and Cleave apply bleed, which is very important. It also gives you more attack speed the more momentum you have. And you may be thinking, well, should I sit at 100 momentum? The answer is no, you should Whirlwind, because then you can Whirlwind and kill everything in sight. The fighter is the game's current best area of effect solo character. All the way up until level 25, where Mage starts to, like, really get better. It really depends, though. Mage is more squishy and less maneuverable than a fighter. And Mage is more sought after in group play than a fighter. But if you have a really, really good gear, then you could easily out-DPS Mages. But for solo play, fighter is amazing at area of effect clearing very quickly. So, I'm level 3, these Claibornes are level 3 and 4, so they're going to have a little bit of beef to them, they're going to have a little bit of HP to them, but what you need to do is just try to pull 2 or 3 at a time, and then see how many you can take comfortably. So in this pull, I was able to pull 3 enemies, and it left me at about half HP, about 50%. So this means that I could probably safely pull 4. I definitely can't pull 6 on Beware of Respawns. Yeah, but I could definitely kill 1 with half HP. This is like no problem at all, right? But you have to get a feel of how many you can pull, and then as a fighter, being efficient means pulling just enough so that you don't die, but you can efficiently speed clear as many as possible. Another tip while here, even though I have completed the quest, we need to spend more time here. So don't leave just yet. Now, whenever your health is low, yeah, you could eat one of these red clay chunks, sure. But we're going to just push the X button, which is default to set down, which gives you the resting buff, regenerating health and mana over time. Make sure that you're sitting somewhere the enemies won't bump into you and that they aren't respawning at. Now, in between pulls, you can start allocating your stamina points here. Now, these ultimately aren't that major. I mean, they do make a big difference when you have the highest level abilities, but you can play around with whatever you like. I just put it into sprint. And you can always right-click it to unspec, currently in the alpha. This won't be the case when the game launches, though. But you could play around with whatever you like. I'm just going to put it in sprint. This choice isn't really all that important. But for your weapon, you're going to start with your Lost Great Sword, and you're going to click this blue plus. And you can choose to do Bleed, Snare, or Wound. So I'm going to choose Bleed. And we still have another weapon point. And then you want to choose Deadly Finish Your Chance, so that you have a higher chance to trigger the Bleed and confirm those choices. For your longbow, we're going to do Wound and a higher chance to trigger Wound when we shoot them. Our bow is mainly used to pull enemies. It's not so much used to murder enemies in our face. But all we're doing right now as a level 3, we're just going to pull as many as we can, and I'm just going to tag them with melee. You could tag them with range too, like I missed that one. So I can swap to a bow and shoot this one here. There we go. We're going to pull 4 and see if we can do 4. Switch back to melee, and we want to make sure that we're cleaving all of them in front of us. And one of them stuck in the geography there. But we're going to be spamming our overpower every time it's up, and we're going to be looking at the top left bar at our momentum. And we're going to, once we reach maximum momentum, we will then push our whirlwind button and spin to win. Now, unfortunately, some of the mobs got stuck in the fireplace over here, and so they either glitched out or... I'm not sure what happened. I think one just died. Yeah, one died, but if they get glitched in the terrain, they'll just reset, so keep that in mind. Also, different enemies have different archetypes. So, these Claiborne Guardians are tanks. They are defensive, they have shields, they have extra HP, whereas the mobs in the middle are called Laborers. They have half as much HP, but they have a two-handed weapon, so they are more inclined for DPS. Now, you can grind out whichever you are comfortable with. The Guardians do give more experience points, and I think their drop table's pretty similar, but the Laborers here, they hit a little harder, but they're a lot easier to kill. And let's try pulling 4, and we're going to try to not stand in front of them, because they do a frontal cleave attack. So we're just going to circle strafe around them as we attack. And our attack cleaves, and our attack also cleave bleeds. When we hit level 4, we will even get a better cleave. It will build up our momentum even faster. So, hold on, I don't have anything targeted. There we go, we got max momentum, now we can spin to win. It looks like in this case, these guys can't, you know, we have a lot of momentum remaining. And so we want to start whirlwinding a little bit before then, so that we kill them in a more time-efficient manner. Also, if you pull them away from their respawns, you won't end up doing what just happened with me, where you end up fighting one as you're looting all the pile of bodies. So it's all about efficiency. But what we're going to do now, and you can see I just got another weapon level up, and we're going to continue along with the deadly finisher, you know, skill line here, so that we have a higher chance to trigger bleed. But what we're going to do is we're going to grind until level 4 and 50%. So 4.5. Right now we are at level 3 and 68%. And as you do this, you will be completing your destinies. So you can see here, we can claim this for some XP, right? And we can go to first steps, and there's a bunch of stuff here to claim. You can do this in between, you know, downtime, right? And, yeah, claiming these will also level you up, so just do that every time that you can. But we're going to grind now until 4.5. Alright, so when you hit level 4, you are going to learn the skill Brutal Cleave. And this is going to ultimately replace Overpower for the most part. Let me explain how this works. Brutal Cleave has the same cooldown as Overpower. It also hits harder than Overpower. The only thing it has not going for it is the cooldown timer. However, the cooldown timer is reduced every time you just do your auto attack combo. So, if you are ever able to cast Brutal Cleave, you cast Brutal Cleave. If Brutal Cleave is on cooldown for some reason, and it's got a long cooldown, you would then use Overpower. But when you use Overpower, while they share the same cooldown, if Brutal Cleave is already on cooldown when you cast Overpower, and Brutal Cleave is about to be off cooldown, then you can immediately also Brutal Cleave. Now, Brutal Cleave is going to hit everything in a sweeping attack in front of you, meaning you can now pull even more mobs, and you can kill them even faster than before. So, we pulled four Guardians last time, right? So, let's pull some more. And we got 3, let's pull 4, and pull 5, right? And most people this early cannot do this yet. This is why being a fighter is freaking awesome. But you're going to Brutal Cleave every single chance you get, and try to just auto-attack as many of them in front of you as possible. And my momentum's about to full. There we go. Momentum is now full, so let's whirlwind. And just look how fast we kill these things. There we go. And then we're going to Brutal Cleave once again. And we're just going to rinse and repeat. So again, you can see our auto-attack is basically resetting the cooldown, making it so that we just constantly cleave everything in front of us. So yeah, we pulled a bunch of mobs there, and we're only down at 50% life. And that one pull was 10%. So we're going to get to 50% very, very quickly. But by putting in a point into our archetype at level 4, this should now complete the novice combat, which it didn't. So relogging will help complete this, because sometimes this gets bugged out. But sometimes you just have to wait till your next weapon level, which is very, very soon. So I'm just going to grind out another weapon level and do it that way. But by completing the novice combat, we do get a weapon upgrade. You also I think we have another chest open. We have 2 health kits. Oh, by the way, these mobs drop, they drop gear. Now, let me talk about gear drops. I don't have pauldrons on right now, and these pauldrons that drop by a mob are a pure upgrade. But also, mob-dropped gear, especially Deep Ward, the Deep Ward set, has what's called Fortitude, which gives you Constitution, which is mostly HP, and Mentality, which is mostly MP, increased by 15%. So, as you kill mobs and stuff drops, you want to replace the items that you have to fill out the Fortitude set while also filling out the Heavy set, but only if it's a direct upgrade. So there we go. We just now got shoulder pads, or rather a shoulder pad. It doesn't matter. There's no directional attacks. Not yet, anyway. But anyway, keep grinding until 4.5. We're at 10%. I did one more pull. I am at 23%. This goes by really, really fast. If you were ever doing like a leveling speedrun 1 to 10, I think Fighter is the best class in the game to speedrun it. Remember, there's no shame in running away. You can see I tried to pull the entire room, and I almost did it, but I didn't quite have the gear yet. Once I have the gear, I can absolutely pull the entire freaking room, but I did kill half the damn room in a single pull. So, yeah, I'm just running away. You can see the arrows have turned back around on my mini-map, so now I am safe to go back to the room and try again. But, yeah, don't feel embarrassed, don't feel bad. It's better to run away than to die and lose a bunch of your stuff. Your 4.5, be careful of this room because you might pull a bunch of these guys, but as a fighter, as long as your HP is mostly restored, you could take them. But you can go to this elevator, and if the elevator is down in time, the mobs won't follow you onto the elevator, they'll sit on the sidelines. I guess I can demonstrate that now. So I'm on the elevator, the mobs will range attack you, but they won't step on... What? Okay. That's a first. That is a first that has ever happened. They almost always stop at the front. I guess a patch changed that. Well, now, be careful. They might murder you on the elevator if there's a bunch of them. But, in this case, we're just going to talk to this NPC here. And yes, I'm still getting attacked by this dude. But, to do this quest, you find the guys that are over here needing a healing salve. And you just push F on them. And you do that 3 times. And these aren't healing salves that are actual potions that you would normally use. These are healing salves from your quest item inventory, which you can't use besides for the quest. Okay, this guy's getting annoying now. By the way, I logged out and back in, and it turned off my form of ferocity, so just check your buffs every once in a while and make sure that you have it. That way you don't, you're not running around fighting inefficiently. So I continue along with the quest progression, going up yet another elevator, and we're going to make it to Hammer Rest, which is the first ever novice little trade town area. So, Hammer Rest, I always call it Hammers with an S for some reason. This is not like a city, like an Orgrimmar or a Stormwind. This is a novice little starter baby zone. And you can there's only tier 1 novice workbenches. Alright, so let me explain before we continue questing how this game's map and systems and world works. So, we're here at the very top snowy mountain of the game world. We're at the very top middle of the continent. There's another continent down here, or I guess it's all connected, whatever. But this is the other starting zone down here. This is called Riverlands, and we are in what's called the Anvils, okay? And so if I were to ride on my mount all the way down, and you could totally do this, and you'll never hit a loading screen, which is really cool, all the way down to here, it will take you 1 real-life hour to get there. It takes a while. There is no fast travel, there's no teleport, there's no being summoned, none of that stuff. Now, there are... As far as cities go, there is no Orgrimmar or Stormwind or, you know, whatever game you play. Instead, it's player-built cities in different zones. So when you hit level 10, you have the ability to become a citizen of a nation or an area, and that is account-wide, not character-wide. And so if you want to craft things, if you want to process things, anything beyond a novice level, you cannot use the NPC towns. So I wouldn't even call this a town. This is just Hammer's Rest. It's like an NPC. It's like a little newbie starter zone. If we go south, we have the Hammer Rest Trade Outpost. This is another little novice crafting zone. This is not player built or owned. But over here, for instance, and I'm on a newer, fresher server. It's about 2 to 3 weeks old. I don't know how old it is. It's not very old. It's the newest, freshest server on the list. Well, players are building buildings over here, and this is all entirely player run. And so if you want to use anything beyond level 10 gear, which you can't at these novice areas because novice is level 10, or is 1 to 10, rather. You have to start going to these player towns and interacting with them, and you don't have to be a citizen to use their crafting benches or anything, as far as I'm aware. I don't think they can lock them, is what I'm trying to say. But, you know, anything above level 10 gear that you want to craft or make or whatever is going to be from real player towns. All right, every town on every server is going to be different, and you'll just have to find a settlement that you enjoy and that you like to grind around or quest around or gather around, whatever you like to do in this game. And that's pretty much it. And so for this guide, it's just going to be covering the basic quests and grinding mobs up to level 9. Well, you can do it till level 10. I'm going to personally do it to level 9 because the time it takes from level 9 to 10 is over twice as long as it takes to go from 8 to 9. And I got to pump these videos out, so I got to get them out as fast as possible. But anyway, what we are now in is Hammer Rest, and so we're going to talk to the NPC, and we got a few more quests to do, and he's going to have us, you know, jaunt around or whatever. So we're going to now go to the Provisioner Hammer Song, and this area, Hammerfall, or Hammer Rest, I'm sorry, it's pretty simple. It's just like hallways, staircases, and small rooms, okay? Nothing too complicated. Once you spend a little bit of time here, you'll understand the layout. But we're going to go to Provisioner Hammer Song and get the quest to craft a bag. And by taking all these quests, by the way, we are now level 5. So that's cool. And very important, too. Also, and because at level 5, your destinies open up. Now you can do Novice, Adventurer, Crafter, Gatherer, and Processing. So if you just beeline the quest and do not grind, these all will still be locked. And the game wants us to go gather. It wants us to go pick herbs. It wants us to do a bunch of stuff. And we would not be getting credit towards any of these if we were still under level 5. But at level 5, we have another skill point to pick, and that would be Climatic Whirlwind. So you're going to pick Climatic Whirlwind, which just does another sweeping attack in front of you when your whirlwind ends. This makes AoE mob grinding even faster than before. Also, at level 5, you get the Form of Fluidity stance, but you don't want to use this now. You may use this in a future build, but in this case, this form removes your bleed from your cleave and gives you shaken instead. It also gives you evasion instead of attack speed. We don't need evasion. We're going to just outgear the enemies anyway. So at 5, you get another stamina skill, so go ahead and spin that. And that should complete your Novice Combat Destiny. So we're going to claim the reward there, claim this reward up top. And we're going to open some more chests. We have these health kit chests that we've been setting on. So let me talk about these health kit chests. You don't ever really go out of mana as a fighter. You might in a very high level fighter or a mage fighter, but for now 1 to 10 you won't be using mana salves. These are potions, by the way. You can use these in the middle of combat, and as you regenerate health, when an enemy hits you, you will still continue to regenerate health. It's not Dota or League of Legends or whatever. It's not those kind of salves, okay? But another thing is these rations. You can just buy these super cheap. You can buy all 3 of these super cheap, as well as the Scroll of Constitution. I personally just choose the health salves, but you can choose whatever you want. You can only have 1 scroll buff at a time, and I like offensive scroll buffs because those are what let you kill faster, all right? Also, that's a recipe that we learned. Now, as a quest reward, we got all of these gathering tools. So, if you compare them, you may see, oh, it's only 2 extra speed. That's nothing. That sucks. Except if you look at the durability, the common or the gray item only has 38, and the green one or the uncommon has 165. 165 durability, if you were fishing, is about 1 hour of time before it breaks. So, we're going to equip all of the green gathering tools that we just got, but we are not going to get rid of the gray gathering tools. And the reason why is because these gray gathering tools, we would swap to them if our current gathering tool breaks. Now, if a gathering tool breaks, you go to any vendor in any outpost, like this laboratory vendor. They all have this little repair button. You would click the button, open your inventory, click the artisan ship tab, and then you can repair your gear that way. We have other chests that we need to open as well. We have this Recipes of Waste box. And we want to learn the one, we're not ever going to craft this, but we're going to learn the one that, the Lost Squire belt, because that is the heavy set one. So, again, we're just going to learn Lost Squire. The other 2 is leather and cloth. We don't need those. We have the shoulder box, so we're going to pick, again, the heavy set one, which, this one is not as good as what we found off a mob drop, but you would normally put this on. The mob drop is better because it has also the fortitude set bonus. And then we have the ranged weapon chest, and we're going to pick the Wanderer's Longbow. Now check this out. This is a very powerful upgrade. And you may be thinking, but Swole Benji, I'm a fighter, I'm using a sword, who cares? Listen, by upgrading your ranged weapons power, it also translates into your melee's power. These things act as stat sticks when they are not in use. With the exception of a shield, you do not get shield block whenever it is not currently equipped, okay? So keep that in mind, but we're not using a shield, we're using a greatsword. So big damage upgrade by getting that bow. And we also have this leggings box, very cool. That's 47 physical defense compared to, well, no, I guess, yeah, 18. Yeah, that's how it is. So another thing that we need to do when we are here in Hammer Rest, I'm trying to summon my mount, and it's being weird, there it is. Took it a minute, is we need to go down here to this mailbox icon. There's a mailbox, a diamond, and some bricks. We're going to go to that icon real quick. It's very simple. We just go down the stairs, go up the stairs, and we're in the next little segment area. And there's a few things we need to do. So this is the storage clerk. It is right next to the mailbox, okay? We're going to talk to the storage clerk, and we're going to access storage. This completed a destiny, by the way. Click materials, and this is super important. You see how much storage we have here? It's not a lot. And like a lot of new players, I've seen streamers do this. They don't know the game. They'll just start storing their stuff in here like that, right? You don't want to do that. Instead, you want to click this drop-down box and click General Storage. Now look how much storage we have. A whole lot more. What we are going to do now is we're going to keep a mental count of this Anvil's Essence. We need 20 of these. We have 4. So we need 16 more. We need to remember that number. 16 Anvil's Essences. But I'm just going to go ahead and... I swear, like, I can never get the button right. It's like Shift, Alt, Control. I don't know why it doesn't work sometimes when I want to store stuff. If you close and reopen it, yeah, Control, right-click, just auto-sorts it over here. You're going to store everything that is not a glint. This is a dual glint. This is a dim glint. We're keeping those. So we have these Crownbreaker emblems, and don't worry about storing this stuff, okay? This stuff does not drop or get lost on death unless you're a ganker and you built corruption. You've been ganking people for a while. When you have high corruption, yeah, you'll start dropping your actual equipped gear and supposedly your inventory as well. I don't know. I haven't been corrupted yet. That's just what people are telling me. So, you know, trust but verify, I suppose. Now, from the storage clerk, we're going to turn around and talk to the Stoneworks vendor here. Well, before we talk to him, let's go to materials and right-click all of these glint into stacks. There we go. So now we have 2 glowing glint, and you might have more or less than what I have. It doesn't matter. Just, we're going to sell all of our glint. You're going to talk to the Stoneworks vendor, and when the vendor, you know, inventory is open, go to your materials, and then you can right-click and then sell your glint. And this gets you silver. And this is primarily what you'll be using before level 10. You can spend glint at settlements for town stuff later, but don't, right now as a new player, this is primarily how you get silver. And gold. One gold is 100 silver, which is 100. 1 silver is 100 copper, alright? Pretty simple stuff. You learn this in World of Warcraft. While you have the vendor open, you can sell any gear that you may not need, like this Lost Pauldrons. I don't need that. Do not sell your gathering gear. These Adventurer's Pants can't be sold because that was our starter gear, so you can trash that. I found a Mage Focus. Not a bad one, but I don't need it. These are some other random drops. This is our starter bow. We no longer need that. Starter chest piece. But we're going to keep our consumables, and then we're going to sort our inventory. I like to put the mount first. Now, if you can't move the mount, if it's not moving, here's how you fix that. Unsummon your mount. Just cast the ability so that it disappears. There you go. You got absorbed into the the bench. And now you can sort it. And that's how you sort your mount. So we're going to tidy up our inventory real quick. There we go. And with that said, from the vendor, from the storage clerk, if we turn to our right, we have another vendor over here called Equipment Vendor Liza. And it's important that we go to Liza and we buy 2 of these mining satchels. So what is a mining satchel? How does this work? I'm going to explain. Very, very simple. All right. So these are materials bags, and there's 2 ways to equip them. You could... Oh, I only bought 1. I need 2. Yeah, I thought I bought 2. And they're pretty cheap, so don't worry about it. All right, so you can just right-click it to put the bag on, or you can go to your bag slot, and you can select which bag you want your bag slot to represent. So there, I took the bag off, I put the bag on. And there we go. Now we have 2 mining satchels and our starter bag. And we have a quest to craft a bag. We're going to craft 2 of those bags. And you're going to want to carry around different types of bags for a very simple reason. So for our mining satchel, if we mine granite, which is a block of stone, it takes up a 2x2 space in our inventory. It's not one little square, it's a 2x2. And that can stack up to 20. But this bag allows mining materials to stack upwards of plus 23. So that means if we put granite in this square, it will stack up to 43, which basically doubles your inventory space. And we need to do a lot of mining because we are a fighter and we need to craft really, really good weapons so we can kick a lot of ass, okay? By doing all the things that we just did, selling the glint, buying the bag, and talking to the storage vendor, we completed some destinies. So we're going to open the destiny board, or not destiny board, this is not Albion, holy crap, PTSD, right? We're going to complete the first steps, you know, get all those rewards, and make sure that you claim all of these. And look at that, big glint reward, that's 5 glint there. Very, very nice. And then, again, just make sure that you're doing all this. Now, gathering, we just completed the first one, which is get a gathering bag. That gave us some XP. And we just got some good chests. We have a Wanderer's chest. This is a chest armor with 153 defense. We're going to slap that bad boy on. That is a massive upgrade. And then we have another massive upgrade, the melee weapon chest. And we're going to get the Wanderer's Greatsword. Check this upgrade out. This one, we go from 152 on the Greatsword to 397, 13 strength to 34. We get way more physical attack speed, so we're going to attack a lot faster and almost double the crit power. So we're going to crit even harder. So slap that bad boy on, and now with our new sword and our new bow, we can grind even faster than before, and with our new armor, we can pull even more mobs than we originally could. Now, we're also going to, again, sell these items that we just replaced. Very, very good. And I'm always afraid that I sell the good items, so I just double check. And no, we're good. We're all right. Also, don't forget to sell your glint while you're in town. You do not want to go out of town with this glint, because if you die or something happens, your internet gets disconnected or someone ganks you because you picked up a trade pack, then you lose half of it. 25% just gets trashed, gets destroyed by the game. And the other 25% is someone comes by and loots your body. Now, if you see someone die in town, and there are guards like this hammer guard has 1,000,000 HP, he'll kill you, okay? He will kill you. If you loot a body, it's a criminal action, and the guards will attack you. So don't loot dead bodies around guards. Simple as, pretty easy to follow. So the first thing we're going to knock out is the crafting quest that we have. Hand set to craft. We need to gather herbs and buy a bunch of crap and then craft a bag. And we're going to be crafting 2 bags, so we're going to be gathering basically double. It says gather herbs from any flower. Now, as you head outside, which is the northeast from Hammerrest. I don't know, some other game must be called Hammerfall, but yeah. This is the exit to town, and this leads outside. There's some more crafting benches outside we can use, yada, yada, yada. As you go outside, at the doorway where you see all the bright, you know, praise the sunlight, you'll see this commission board. This is a bunch of quests. You should just pick all of these up. We will do these as we roam around the world, and they refresh right here at the top right corner. This one refreshes in 26 minutes, so we want to make sure we do some of the easier ones within 26 minutes, claim the reward so we can reclaim the quest in 26 minutes and get it again. So let's gather herbs from any flower. So what we need to do right now is we need to gather Snowdrop and Daffodil. Daffodil is this orange flower, and to gather it, you walk up into the middle. You'll see a white dot. Make sure you're standing completely still and push the F key, and you'll start to swing your scythe sickle at it. And once this progression bar fills up, you will then loot the goods. So there we go. We have looted 3 Daffodil. Now, the white stuff over here, this is Snowdrop. We just need a combination of 10 flowers. Because we're going to harvest 3 at a time, you'll end up with 12, you'll end up with some surplus, but get a minimum of 10, because we're going to turn that into coarse thread. Actually, no, I am incorrect. I'm going to put it on screen. I just lied to you. We need 13 extra. So we need 23 flowers. All right, that's better. Again, we need a total of 23, because one of the weapons we are crafting requires coarse thread. Now, the cool thing about herbs is they are a 1x2 space, and yes, you can put herbs into a mining satchel, though they won't get that extra 23 stack bonus. Only mining materials would give you that. We don't need an herb bag, because we're not gonna fill up our bags with herbs. We don't need to. We only need a little bit. So you can see here we have 12 plus 6. That would be 18, and we need 23. So we're about to get 3 more. That would be 15 plus 6. That's 21. So just 1 more, and that's all we need. You may also get rarer colored materials like this uncommon daffodil. Don't worry about, sorry, hit my mic. Don't worry about the commonalities. If you get a rare or even a heroic one, you can still use it to craft what we need, and these are tier 1 materials, so it's not a big deal if you make coarse thread out of heroic daffodils. It really doesn't matter. So the game wants us to buy 5 dratwine wax, and we're going to buy 23. And let me show you how and why the game is telling us to do this. If we go over here to this purple icon with the wheel, this is like a little weaving wheel. This is the weaver. And we go to coarse thread, you'll see that we need any gathered plant as the material, and we need 1 dratwine wax to create 1 coarse thread, alright? So in order to get the dratwine wax, we're going to go to the textile mill vendor here, and they have an items category, and they have a materials category. So we're going to click the materials box, and there's the dratwine wax, but there's a whole bunch of stuff sometimes in these lists, and you wouldn't know what to buy. So instead of looking for dratwine wax, because it's not alphabetical, you just go to the search button and you type the first few letters of drat, so DR. Or you can type wax. You can type wax and it also shows up in the search. So either of those work, but we're going to buy 23, so I'm going to click this, click add quantity, make it 23, hit purchase. This is going to cost 20, I'm sorry, no. This is going to cost 2 silver, 76 copper because of taxes, which we can afford. There we go. We have now bought the dratwine wax. So we have the flowers, we have the wax, we go over here to the weaver, and we click coarse thread, grab this quantity slider, slide it all the way over. That way we have 23 coarse thread being crafted. We're going to add the flowers now by shift right clicking, not control right clicking, shift right clicking. I know it's weird, not all inventories are the same. And now we're going to start this job. This will cost us 8 silver, 5 copper, and this will take real life time of 11 minutes and 30 seconds. The progress is right over here in the top left. Do not click cancel. If you cancel this, you lose all the materials. You lose everything, and I don't think there's any refunds. I'm sorry. I've never clicked cancel to find out. But, yeah, we need to do something for 11 minutes, right? And there's plenty to do, but also, you know, that costs a lot of silver. We're down to 13 freaking silver. We need to make more money, right? And right now, the best way to make money is to go grind. And so for 11 minutes, we can go outside and we can kill some mountain lions. And let's go kill 5 mountain lions, and you'll see why in a bit. It is a destiny to kill some mountain lions, you'll see. So we're going to head outside, and the path we're going to take, let me show the map. We're going to loop around the road here and go northeast. And then we're going to, hello, map? Stop doing that. Yes, we're outside now. We're going to go northeast until we get to this little crevice, this little, there's a tooltip being annoying here. This little, what is this called? This is a gap in the mountain, and we're going to take a northwest trip through the valley here, and we're going to kill mountain lions, and we're also going to mine things that we see. We're going to go mining. All right, we need to mine a lot of metal to craft a lot of weapons. And here's what a mining node looks like. This is a, what is this? This is granite. Yes, the lumpy, bumpy, egg-shaped rocks are granite, so we're going to... Same way we gathered the plants, we're going to walk up and we're going to mine it, okay? And when we mine it, it's going to automatically put it in our mining satchel and not our regular inventory. Also, we don't need this anymore, so I'm going to go and throw that out. That way we free up some inventory space, and there we go. We mined 5 granite, and it's in the satchel. So, again, as you see granite, you're just going to run around and mine it. You need to mine everything to the point where your bags, all of them, are full. You may be tempted, as a gatherer, I know, to pick all the damn flowers. These things spawn pretty quick. You don't need to pick flowers. We don't need any more flowers for anything. But you can see I'm in this little mountain pass now, and we have our first juvenile mountain lion, all right? We're going to kill 5 of these. I know the quest over here says we only need to slay 4, but we are going to slay 5, all right? And I'm just going to whirlwind early here, because I'm pretty sure this will kill him. Yep, I timed it exactly right. Cool, so that's 1 out of 5, alright? We're going to kill 5, but you can kill more than 5. We need to grind a lot. Also, we're going to be mining as we do this. And fear not, as someone's being attacked by a mountain lion, as you do gathering, you get regular experience for gathering. You'll see here, I got 60 experience and 80 mining experience. So you can level up by gathering. And if you are like a really hardcore gatherer that you just want to gather, do note that after level 10, when you hit level 10, you lose your PvP protection forever. It's gone. And so if you want to like really level gathering, you want to like start at a low level so that by the time you hit level 10 from gathering, you've gathered a lot more materials. You know the layout of the land. You have your gathering stuff set. But I have not set up a path for gatherers yet. I will be working on that video. if these guide videos get good views, which they're doing okay, and I like the game, so I tend to make guides for games I like. But yeah, as we run around, oh, let me show you basalt. Basalt is shaped like tubes. I don't know, all right? Granite is egg-shaped, basalt is tube-shaped. So this is basalt. You also need to mine this. Oh, that guy ran over to try to steal it. Look at him. Yeah, he got that other node. He got the granite. But basalt is pretty damn good, so grab it whenever you can. Also, when trying to decide should you kill a mountain lion or should you mine, you should mine because the mining takes like 2 to 5 minutes to respawn, and the mountain lions take 20 seconds to respawn. So, yeah. As you kill mountain lions, you might notice something. Whenever you click on one, they have a star next to their name. This means that they are an elite mob. Now, these things are such low level, and they're pretty down-tuned, downscaled, so they're not that elite, so don't be afraid of them. So, as a fighter, you better believe it. We could mass pull the hell out of these. Now, they do have a pounce attack when they open, and this pounce attack can knock you down, but as long as you're, you know, strafing and jumping and dodge rolling, then they're gonna have trouble hitting you. But you can pull a whole bunch of these bad boys and kill them all at once because that's what fighters be doing. Anyway, we're gonna swap to our, you know, melee now. Get them all bunched up, cleave them. One more little auto here. Boop boop. Hit the cleave, hit the whirlwind, and they're all dead. I might have, I could have whirlwinded way earlier, but whatever. So you can see, you can kill a lot of these very, very quickly. They have good drops. I actually got some pants. Yeah, I got some pants. Oh, those are medium armor. We don't want to wear that. But yeah, and they respawn every 20 seconds, so you can grind here. Now, you'll notice I completed the commission Slay Mountain Lion, so we can go ahead and claim that. We clicked it right here. I clicked it right here. I'm not that anime character from the final boss, whatever. I'm going to talk about anime. There's an anime called, like, I'm the final boss or something, and it's, the character always speaks in third person, like, we are happy, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Anyway, click the commission from your quest log. Click completed quest. Then you get a little random loot chest, and this can just have a bunch of random crap in it. In this case, I got a scroll of processing experience. So the way processing and crafting works, the experience is given to you when you pull it out of the station. So in this case, we are processing cloth. If I want to get extra XP, I pop the scroll, I claim the goods, and that is how I would do it. And unfortunately, the scrolls from these chests only last about 5 minutes, but the scrolls that players craft, if they are a scribe, last 2 to 3 hours. It's like 2 hours. So if you have a bunch of crafting stations with a bunch of things being processed, you pop the scroll, you go claim all the stuff, and you will level up way faster. Now, if you get hit by the pounce, yeah, it's going to knock you on your ass, but hey, that's fine. Alright, and then that's overkill again. I'm way overkilling these before I start whirlwinding, so... But yeah, I just gotta get a good feel. It's been a while since I played fighter, guys. Let's see, we got a dagger. Ooh, it's not the worst dagger, but we're not a dagger fighter, so... Now, I'm barely getting hurt pulling these, so I could probably, like, pull 2 different groups at once. I could probably pull more at once, or do just 2 smaller pulls. I mean, I got 8 seconds left on my whirlwind. We could probably pull a few more. Yeah, go and pull this one, why not? There we go. Switch to melee. Get them all in the melee range, and yeah, we just start whirlwinding now. There we go, they're gonna die. Yep. And that's it. This is the easiest class to farm within the freaking game, I tell you, man. Fighter is just so easy, it's so fun. But yeah, we're gonna keep grinding, and you know, it's been a few minutes, so we're gonna go mine some more in the little mountainous area here. You can also go up north. You can go way up north and mine there, but I like mining like right here at this choke, right here, and kind of on this side over here a little bit. There's a lot of good little hidden mining spots in the trees too. And even though mountain lions aren't people, they still drop armor, so I got this medium waist. And, you know, the waist and the helmet slot and the cape slot and the boot slot are not gear that we're going to naturally get through quest rewards. So if you get any of those, go ahead and put them on, and you can always, you know, put on an upgrade later. So yeah, even though I'm wearing medium armor here, it does not ruin my heavy set bonus, okay? Just keep that in mind. It's, you know, wearing something is better than wearing nothing at all. So if you want to pull more efficiently, when you right-click a mob and your character draws their bow back, if you continue to auto-attack them with the bow, you move slower, as you can see here. It makes it harder to dodge. But if you push escape, then you will just run at normal speed, which allows you to be a little bit more mobile, so you can pull more mobs. And, yeah, so there you go. Just make sure that you dodge those pounces. Sometimes they patch it where the pounces will almost always hit you, and sometimes they never hit you, so it looks like we are in the never hit stage right now. Yeah, I've pulled a lot of mountain lions here. Oh man, they're angry. Oh, I got pounced. Uh-oh. And yeah, this could be bad, right? Could be, but we're a fighter, you know, we just whirlwind, we just spin to win. Ooh, it's getting close. Oh, it's getting real close. Oh, right on the edge of our seat there. One more hit and we would have died. So just be careful, man. You gotta be careful out in them jungles. But I did have potions that I could have used. I absolutely could have used a potion. Also, keep in mind, as you grind, you need to consolidate or stack your glint. I don't know if consolidate's the right word, but yeah, this will free up inventory space. And you also want to kind of do some Tetrising with your items so that you can fit your mining materials in your regular bag as well, because those mining bags will fill up pretty fast if you are going in between the mountain lions and mining as you should be, because again, we need a lot of metal. Now, as you continue to mine and kill mountain lions, you will eventually hit 6, and we're going to go ahead and allocate the next part of our weapon here. We're going to go for 3% penetration, same thing with the bow. And for your archetype, there's a few choices you can do. You could actually choose Blitz if you want more mobility between pulling mobs, or you can go for Battle Cry, which will give you more damage and defenses with your Whirlwind. Now, for grinding mountain lions and for grinding the Clayborn mobs, which is an alternate grinding spot we're going to go hit up next, you don't really need Battle Cry. You already do too much damage. You just kill everything way too quickly. But once we reach the mines, you're going to want Battle Cries, so you can pick Battle Cry or Blitz. It doesn't matter. I'm going to personally go with Blitz so that I can dash and charge around and have more mobility. And then on level 7, I will then pick Battle Cry. So my inventory is mostly full. And there's a few things that you can kind of finagle with the inventory system. For instance, if I put granite here, well, I can actually free up more granite there, and that frees me up more space, right? Because if you have rare items sitting in your satchels, then they won't fill up as fast as the common items. So that means I have more space now to mine more stone, which we absolutely need a ton of. Also, don't forget, as you're killing mobs, as you're mining, as you're gathering, you will be completing more of your destinies. So open this up every once in a while, you know, claim those rewards and grab those chests. So in this case, I got some adventurer stuff done. Let's see, crafting, we got one there. We got a couple in gathering. There we go. Go ahead and grab those. And we can claim the glint from that as well. Now, instead of going back to Hammer Rest, we're going to go south down the road to Hammer Rest Trade Outpost. And we're going to turn some of our stone into sand, and by doing so, that's going to give us some metal. Now, depending on your luck, you may have a lot or not so much metal. Metal is considered copper, tendonite, and zinc, which is this thing. All right, that's the 3 different metals, and we just need, we can turn them into fragments, and we just need a total of, I believe, 33 fragments. Let me check on that. I seem to have deleted my notes that had the total, so I'll get you the total there, but for now, it's 33. I'm pretty sure it's 33. Anyway, by just entering this outpost, the Hammer Rest Trade Outpost, it looks like this on the map. Again, we're right just south of Hammer Rest, okay? You will have completed a destiny to visit an outpost. That's under Adventurer. Here it is. That's going to give us 5 more glint. So as soon as we're in town, we're going to vendor all the glint that we have to free up some inventory space. There we go. Looks like I got a good amount. And there we go. Just open trade with whoever. Well, not a player, but an NPC, of course. And sell your glint. Make sure to sell that glint. All right, cool. So now we need to process. In this town, we're going to process the granite into sand. And we're going to go to this little anvil icon that's purple. All right, it's right over here. Now, let me show you how this works. When you open this, this is the metalworking forge. You click the sand button down here, and we're going to click Crush Granite. In order to crush granite into sand, which will give us sand, and sometimes give us copper, zinc, and tendonite, as well as coal. Coal is not a metal, but, you know, coal is nice to have for later. We need Crag Shatter Salts. In order to get Crag Shatter Salts, we will need to purchase it from the smithy vendor right over here. So I'm just going to type Crag into the search, which I failed to do for some reason. Let's try that again. There we go. And I'm going to buy 40 of these. There we go, just buy 40. That's 3 silver, 20 copper, which we should have from all that glint we sold, of course. There we go. Now I'm going to go over here, and we're going to turn 40 granite into sand. There we go. And by adding the granite, it doesn't matter which granite we add. Got to shift right click. I like to add the smaller stacks first and then add the bigger stacks. There we go. This is going to cost 3 silver, 20 copper, and it's going to take 40 minutes. All right. So in this case, I have actually more granite than that. So I'm going to buy 20 more of the crag shatter salts. Go ahead and just buy another 20. There we go. And purchase. Awesome. All right, cool. So we'll do 60 instead of 40. The amount doesn't matter. This is how you eliminate luck. Because sometimes when I do my runs from 1 to 10, I get a lot of metal. And sometimes I get none. But by crushing granite into sand and basalt, you can... you don't have to rely on luck, okay? And that's what this video, opened with. It's like not reliant on luck. So now it's going to take 1 hour and it's going to cost 480. So there we go. We have 1 hour to kill. That means we can go grind. We can go do a bunch of other stuff. Now, while we're here in the outpost, I just want to mention a few things, okay? If you go to this little green commission board, this should have the same thing from Hammer Rest. Go ahead and claim these anyway. And by the way, if I go to Hammer Rest and slay mountain lions, and then I run down here and grab this quest, even though this refreshes on the same timer as the other town, it is a completely separate quest. So I can go do both commissions for the exact same mission and double dip in rewards, if that makes sense. So that means I go to Hammer Rest, I get the quest, I kill 4 mountain lions, I claim the reward. I come here, I get the quest, I go kill 4 mountain lions, I claim the reward. When it refreshes, I can then do that again. Now, over here on the other side of the road is a bigger commission board with a little chest next to it. This commission board has a whole bunch of random stuff in it. And this thing will always be different, but I'll tell you the ones that you should pick up if you happen to see them. Alright, so grab any commission that has these materials: granite, zinc, copper, basalt, snowdrop, daffodil, frost flash, eastern hemlock, tendonite, and rubies. While you can also grab western larch, you're not going to have enough storage or inventory space really for multiple different types of trees. And trees are so common and there's so many of them, it's really better to just chop one breed of tree for these kinds of quests anyway. But, so let me show you an example now. Let's see what I got this time. And sometimes this is bugged and doesn't work. It looks like this one is not going to refresh within negative 13 hours. So yeah, it's probably bugged. But anyway, we have, Rough Rhyme. I forgot to mention Rough Rhyme on this list. So if you are not listening, sucks for them. So we got Rough Rhyme, Tendonite, Frost Flash, Western Larch, Snowdrop. Now, again, Western Larch, let me introduce the tree types real quick to you. They're very easy to identify. So, when you are a child and someone's like, draw a tree, and you draw a little triangle with a stick out coming out of it, this is what you think of. This is an eastern hemlock tree. Alright, I don't know if that's a real type of tree in real life. I don't know trees. I'm just a sour Section 8 kid. Not even a Section 8 kid, a trailer trash kid. And then this one, the skinnier one, taller one, is a larch. No, it's not. That's also a hemlock. Wow, embarrassing. No, the skinnier tall ones are supposed to be larches. Okay, yeah. This isn't Western Larch, but it's a baby one. So you'll notice this is adolescent. And this one says adult. So yeah, adolescent Western Larch, adolescent. So you want to only chop the adult trees, by the way. The reason why is you get 5 wood instead of 3 wood. It's also faster, mathematically, to chop the adult ones. But also, you have a higher % chance to get the rarer drops. So your next goal is now to chop trees and get 56 wood. So when I chop this adult eastern hemlock, by the way, wood is a 1x3 stack, okay? So keep that in mind. In this case, I might throw out this Rough Rhyme, because Rough Rhyme is not a metal, and I'm not going to use this for anything, so I'm just going to throw that out and get some more inventory space. So there we go. We have 5 out of 20 Eastern Hemlock, okay? We need a total of 56 wood, but just go ahead and get 60, because, you know, you're getting it in increments of 5 anyway. Oh, and as you chop trees, make sure that you are headed north back to Hammer Rest, because what we want to do when we get to Hammer Rest, we want to use their crafting station to also turn granite or basalt, whichever you have more of, into sand as well. And by the way, by not mixing the breed of tree we are chopping, you will have nice even stacks, because if we chop 3 different types of trees, we'll have 3 different types of wood, and then if you get an uncommon, rare, or heroic grade of that wood, that takes up even more space, and it wastes more time. And again, trees are freaking everywhere. You don't have to, you know, chop each tree that's near you. Just ride around until you see an eastern hemlock. They're all over the freaking place. Right, so I have the 56 wood, or 60 wood, because it's increments of 5, and I am headed back to Hammer Rest. Before I go in, I do have that quest to slay 4 mountain lions again, so I'm just going to go run and do that super duper quick. And on this right side, there's some pretty close mountain lions, though you can't really group pull them. You just, you can range pull them, and usually there's people over here grinding for some reason. I don't know why, but, you know, there's 1... 2, and there's a 3rd one in that path way down there. Let's just charge at them. Just hit our blitz button. Smashing that button. Boom, there we go. And then number 4. So that is all 4 of them in a single pull. Group them back up. There they are. And slice them up. So quest complete. Lots of XP. Lots of loot that we need. It's really, really that quick. Awesome. Let's see what we get. Complete quest. So, make the glint small, sort our inventory so that we can open this chest. Because this chest can sometimes, you know, give you gathering materials as well. In this case, it just gave us some glint, but by doing that quest before going to Hammerfall, we can now go to that commission board and get the quest once again if the timer is up. Now, while we are outside of Hammer Rest, we're going to go over here to the purple table saw icon. This is a saw blade sticking out of a plank or a wood or something. And we need to turn our wood into timber. So we have eastern hemlock. In order to do that, we need sanding powder. Because we need 56 wood, we're going to go to the wood shop vendor, and we're going to buy 56 sanding powder. There we go. By quantity 56, that's going to cost $4.40. No, it's $6.72. So yeah, a little pricey. That's just how it is. And then we are going to go ahead and drag the quantity over here, add the wood, there we go, and then submit. That's going to cost $19.60, and it's going to take 28 minutes. That's pretty much all of our money. We have 3 silver left, so we don't even have enough money to turn our stone into more sand, alright? So what we're going to do is we're now going to grind, because we have like over an hour, not really an hour, we have probably like 40 minutes remaining or something, for the sand. Let's go to commission board and get the quests once again. And some of them will flip, some of them won't, but that's because we already have these. So, and again, we got another Slay Mountain Lions quest. So we could go do that right now, but how long do I have on this board? This board is 35 minutes. I got plenty of time. So we're going to go to our storage and store all of our mining goods. So you should store everything except your glint. Everything. Alright, now, I don't need the wood. I don't need this 4 wood, so I'm going to toss that. But if you want to keep it, you can. That's fine. But we're going to just store everything here. And we don't really have much money right now, but one thing you can do instead of turning granite and basalt into sand to get metal is you can just keep mining and hope you get lucky and get metal. And again, metal is zinc, tendonite, and copper, which I didn't get any copper at all for some reason. Very unlucky there. But we need 33 metals, and it could be any metal. The problem with metal is we can only process one type at a time. So right now I have 9 tendonite and 9 zinc. So if I want to process 9 zinc into metal, I could do that. So why don't we go attempt that now? I don't know if I have enough money to do this. So we're going to go to the Stoneworks vendor here and sell the glint that we got. There we go. And check our destinies. No, all that's been checked, but let me show you how to turn metal into fragments, and this is something you can work on if you don't want to spend money and time turning granite into sand. So just like the other crafting area, we have the purple icon with the anvil, and we go here and we can go to copper, zinc, or tendonite fragments. They require smoldering ash. How much do I have? I have 9, so let's buy 9 smoldering ash from this guy, and again, I don't know if we have enough, but we'll see. Alright, so that's 1 silver. Yeah, we barely have any. Zinc fragments, 9 of these, and putting 9 zinc in will cost us 3 silver at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and get that cooking. Now, we need to grind at this point, because there's something else that we need to grind for, and that is Anvil Essence. Anvil Essence are those drops that we get. You get them from Mountain Lions, you get them from the Claibornes. My favorite place to get them is the Claibornes because of mob density. It's purely mob density, alright? They don't seem to have a higher drop rate than anywhere else, but the Claibornes are a really good place to grind up until you're level 8. So I'm level 6 and 29%, so I'm just going to grind Claibornes until I'm level 8. And it'll be super freaking quick because I might do it till I'm level 7. It really depends on how many essences and glint I get. If I get a lot of glint, then I can just stop at 7. But yeah, we're gonna go back down these elevators, back through these little questing hallways that we did, and go kill those stone Claibornes again. Not the level 1 ones, but the Guardians, the ones in that big room, the Laborers and the Guardians. I'll show you, and you just pull the entire freaking room. Also, I'm not gonna make that elevator, dang it. If for some reason there's a bunch of players, and there's a player here, this room is also really good. You can't pull as many, and this is a cleric. And clerics, yeah, they can do it. They're just a little slower. Ooh, that's a flashbang. Sorry, guys. Didn't. You know, that's just the game. That's just how it is. Now, if there's no one in this room, you can use your mount like this to pull the mobs. You just get in their personal bubble, and they will aggro you most of the time. But if there are players, what they'll do is they'll just steal your mob tag. You don't get the mob tag if you aggro the mob. You get it when you hurt the mob, and you get loot credit when you deal half of the damage to the mob first. Or you get the majority percentage of the damage. You still get XP by tagging it, though. So yeah, these guys are chunking my health and stun locking me, and that sucks, but hey, that's just what it is. And again, we could pull a ton of these. We're not afraid. We also charge, you know, just like that. Just like a warrior from World of Warcraft. Alright, there we go. Swap to melee. Let's get them. Let's get it. And then we just spin to win. And they're dead. And it's that simple. Now, here's the thing. Because of the mob density... Also, I guess they're not all dead because I didn't get them all in front of me, huh? But they're going to get cleaved down very, very easily. We bleed them. We attack everything in front of us with a very powerful weapon, which we're about to get an even more powerful weapon when we craft our big in-game weapons, right? But, yeah. So, there we go. You'll see that, you know, I looted 2 essence in a single pull. I also got 2... silver worth of glint, 2.4 silver worth of glint. So very, very cool. In a single pull, and they respawn every 20 seconds. At this point, if I want to speed up my recovery, I could also start eating these red clay chunks. You know, I could also, we could buy rations. You don't need to, but yeah, and it's good XP. So we're gonna sit here and we're gonna grind a while. That's the game. By the way, a little tip for your combos here is you don't want to cast Brutal Cleave until after your main weapon combo. So you do a slash, slash, and then slash, slash, and after that slash, slash, that's when you would use your abilities. Because if you go slash, slash into an ability, then you don't do your double slash, it starts your combo over again, and you lose damage, and you lose your cooldown reset. So remember, your auto attack is also kind of like a skill that has a 3-hit, with the 3rd hit being the finisher, which is the double slash. And again, that double slash is what resets your Brutal Cleave. So if you're casting other spells right before your double slash, then you're just losing so much damage. This player loots this body and becomes PvP flagged. Oh, they are. Oh no. Oh, and they're dead. Why are they instantly dying? I swear they had a whole bar of HP left and they died. Now, if I loot this, then I become PvP flagged. But what if I just peek at it? Let's see. Yeah, I don't... Oh, I can get the stolen glint that he stole from the other body. So, that's just 60 copper. I don't feel like it. But, it is something I could do. And there's no guards in here. And I could wait out the PvP flag. Again, you can do it if you want. Alright, so hit level 7. So, I'm going to take Battle Cry. And you'll notice that there are some enemies that have not been dying. Like the level 4 Claiborne. Sometimes they survive for whatever reason. And so, what you want to do whenever you're doing these... And I guess this guy is practicing rolling or something. I don't know what he's doing. But before you whirlwind, you cast Battle Cry. And by doing so... Well, Battle Cry also, it gives you a bunch of buffs, but it shakes them up. I forget what it does exactly. It's no, it applies Weakened. And if you look at Whirlwind, whenever you attack an enemy that's weakened, you deal 20% additional damage every single tick of your Whirlwind damage. So not 20% total damage, but 20% per tick. So we're gonna cleave, we're gonna battle cry, and then we're gonna whirlwind. And now we deal so much more damage, and they just absolutely melt. And yeah, and then you just scoop up the loot, and you rinse and you repeat until we have a whole bunch of these Anvil's Essences. Now, I have 11 here. Also, let's convert this glint we've got. Again, you're going to be getting a lot of stuff. Also, I got some earrings, a bunch of other drops that I didn't need, unfortunately, but drops are RNG. I've got plate helmet now, finally. We're one piece away from the Fortitude set bonus, which is really nice. Things are coming up, but I've got to keep grinding. We've got plenty of glint now, but we need more Anvil's Essences to craft our weapons. Now, at weapon level 8, and yes, I know a mob is attacking me because I set down where they respawn. At weapon level 8, you can now choose from this node, and what you want to choose is Ward. This gives you a 5% block chance, but it also gives you some temporary bonus health. You could also choose Keen Edge. This gives you increased critical strike chance. Now, you may think, oh, 25% increased crit is a lot. It's 25% increased of your base crit amount. So, if your base crit amount is 10%, then 25% of that would be 2.5. So, you would have 12.5% crit chance. It's still nice to have, but Ward gives you 5% block chance, and it also gives you temporary health, which is kind of like a nice little heal over time. Although it is and isn't, it's just way better for AoE mob farming. For your bow, because you just use that to pull, of course you want more crit, so there you go. That's easy. After some more grinding, we still don't have any ring drops, which is really weird. I always get ring drops, but I did manage to get the heavy girdle and some green upgrades here. Not green from gray at this low level is like 1 or 2 stat points. It's not a lot. But we did manage to get the 5 out of 5 Fortitude, which let me show you. Our maximum HP is 1139, and our max mana is 819. And if I just replace that set bonus, it goes down to 1007 and 703. So yeah, pretty big chunk. That is like, it's like a 10% boost to our maximum HP, which is huge for grabbing more mobs in higher, more dangerous zones. Alright, so we have grinded to level 7 and almost a half, about 7 and 49%. We have 20 essence. Now, I know we had some in storage, but we went ahead and got 20 here anyway. And we got some glint, so we can go process more goods and get closer to crafting our weapons. When we're back in town, we're not only going to sell the glint that we farmed, we are also going to sell all the gear that we don't need. So I have like these earrings I don't need, these boots, you know, just a whole lot of stuff. We're going to clean up our inventory, get rid of all the extra junk. Now, as far as like recipes go, you know, you can sell them to the vendor for 1 copper, which would be kind of a waste, or you can hold on to them and you can travel deep south, and those guys don't get the recipe drops that we get up here in the north, so you can trade and sell them to other players who might want to be like a completionist who wants to get all the recipes and so on. Now, anytime you're in town, just get into the habit of storing absolutely everything in your storage. In this case, I am going to pull out some metal here and get that turned into more fragments. We have more money now. So again, that's the big bottleneck, is getting metal fragments, and that's why you have to either get lucky and mine the metal, or turn granite or basalt into sand, which gives you a chance of getting metal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out the metal fragments that I have started crafting here, which is now done. This is 9 fragments. There we go. And I'm going to then do 9 more fragments, because I'm getting a bad luck run here, but let's do 9 ash. But I'm going to run to that other town, and that sand should be done. I think it's been an hour. I'm not really sure. We'll see. If not, that's fine. We'll grind nearby. And then I will, once I pick up that sand and metal, I will then transmute, or not transmute, but I will turn whatever metal I get from there also into fragments there. And then when that bench finishes and this one finishes, we should have all the materials we need, kind of, sort of, to craft our weapon. We will have to do a bit of fishing, though, which only takes about 3 to 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and grab everything out of the sawmill here. There we go. And, yes, I'm a level 2 lumber miller. Oh, boy. And I'm going to put, again, all of this in storage, and then I'm going to go out to the Hammerfall trade camp, which is, you know, south down the road, and see if we have enough fragments or not. Also, in my storage, if I had any metal, then I would want to take it with me. That way I can combine that metal with the metal I may get from the sand, and that way I can get more shards. So right now I just have 9 metal fragments, and I'm making 9 more, and I need 33 total. You can see that this is quite the process. So actually, just in case that I don't get enough metal, I'm gonna take 60 more granite with me and turn that into sand at that outpost. If I don't get enough, we'll see. I probably won't. Oh, and after all this processing and crafting, you will complete more of your destinies here. So we have learned 5 recipes we got from killing mobs and picking up recipes. That's going to give us, you know, some glint for more silver. And then processing, we got a few here that we learned. That's a glint. That's 5 glints for processing 50 materials. And then, you know, once we do 2 of these, we get another 2 glints. So again, we have more. We have another 11 silver that we can use and throw towards processing. And yeah, we're stacking that silver. Wow, perfect timing. 27 seconds remaining on the granite. All right, so let's see. We got 60 sand. How much metal do we get? We got 10 copper, 8 zinc, 3 tendonite. So that if we did these separate, that'd be another 18 plus the 18 we have. That'd be 36. So that's enough. We don't need to grind any more, you know, stuff into sand. So let's take a look at our inventory. We have the 10 copper. Now, preferably you would do zinc and tendonite first, because copper is kind of harder to get unless you get a lot of basalt. You can only get copper from basalt. If you get basalt nodes yourself, you're in good standing. But in this case, because I want to just kind of get it done, I'm going to do 10, and so I need those crag. Is it crag? What do I need again? Let's see, copper. I need smoldering ash. That's right. So we're going to get 10 smoldering ash. There we go. Again, it's a process. Go ahead and buy that. And then we get it started. Let's see. Drag that all the way. And again, it's going to take 5 minutes. And then what we can do next is we can do the 8 zinc. So that would be 18. We can do 6 zinc. That way we only need 33 metal fragments. But having more metal fragments doesn't hurt. In that 5 minutes time, we got time to fish. So what we're going to do is on the map, at this little crossroads, we're going to take the rightmost path this way, which is left on our perspective, but right on the map. And we're going to ride down this road southeast, and then we're going to jump off this cliff into the river, and we're going to fish. And fishing is pretty simple. I'll show you how to do it when we get there. I'm going to skip to the cliff. So here we are at the cliff, and just like most video game logic, jumping in water does not hurt you, so your mount is absolutely fine. There we go. And again, we just rode down here, jumped into this river. That's all we did. We're then going to climb out of the river, which sometimes can be hard, sometimes can be pretty easy. If you get to, you know, like a shoreline, it's a lot easier. Alright, like in this case, I am not able to jump the mount out of the damn water. Alright, so let me teach you how to fish now. All you gotta do, push the K button, and then you're going to click Skill Book. Alright, then you're going to find down here where it says Artisan. You're going to find fishing, and then you'll have a skill for fishing. Not sport fishing. This is where you take a boat into the ocean. You can't do that yet. You're going to go and grab your fishing button here, and all you got to do is just push the fish button. It'll pull out a rod, and if you can fish in the water, it'll cast the line. If you can't fish in the water, it'll say, I can't find any fish here. It won't say it verbally. It'll say it as text on the screen. Now, the way fishing works, you got to put in a secret pattern. No, I'm just kidding. All you got to do is let the game do it. The game will fish for you. You don't have to push any buttons. You don't have to click the mouse. You don't have to move the directions. You don't have to do nothing. It is just an auto-cast, automatic gathering activity. You can AFK this for as long as the auto-kick doesn't do its thing, right? Also, I have a Vegaldin boon. This is neat. I guess the citizen of the zone... Or I'm sorry, the zone I'm in has a buff going on for 5% XP boost. That's neat. Never seen that before. Yeah. And something called Iron Aura. And yeah, there's a lot going on right now in this little zone. But anyway, that may not be on your screen, just to let you know. So, as you fish, it is a 1x2 fish. The fish size are a 1x2 horizontal. So flowers are a 1x2 vertical. Fish are 1x2 horizontal. Make sure you have inventory space. We need to catch 8 fish. Now, I have timed this twice, and the first time it took 3 minutes to catch 8 Frost Flash. This is a Frost Flash. Again, once it catches the fish, it will recast the line, You can walk away, and you only need to come back until your fishing pole is either broken or you got kicked for being AFK. Also, the rarity doesn't matter. Just make sure you have 8 total fish. We're just going to turn them into oil, which is what we're going to use to make a bow. Alright, so we have 8 fish, and this took around 6 minutes this time. I believe. I think I got that right. But, yeah, I've done it as fast as 3 minutes. I don't know what affects it. I mean, I'm fishing at night right now. I don't know if it's like morning time or noon or what. I have no idea. I don't know enough about fishing yet. But, I did get a rare fish. And if you get any rare resource, that does complete a destiny. But now, fish don't sell for much. Yeah, you can sit here and it does give you regular XP just like any other gathering. If you need to AFK for a long time, go fishing if you're under level 10. If you are level 10 and above, a lot of people will gank fishermen. They're free loot. I mean, they assume you're AFK. They'll kill you, take 25% of your fish. You'll lose another 25% of your fish. It's really not worth it. It's unless you're just sitting there, you know, like on a second monitor while you watch a movie or something. But fish do not make you a lot of money or anything this early on until you can get higher level and fish in the desert or do sport fishing. But if you also want to complete another destiny, then you can also, I believe it's gather 10 fish. Maybe. Yeah, catch 10 fish. So you can stop at 8. But if you want to stop at 10, you know, that works too. Alright, then to stop fishing, just push any key, just push any button. Now, let me show you where the Vinebreaker mines are. And this is our grind spot once we get our weapons. Alright, so once you jump into the river, you're going to hug the wall here, traveling east on the map. And, you know, we can summon them out. I know it's dark on your screen, I'm sorry. I do have my gamma adjusted. I have a settings guide if you're interested in that. But, yeah, right here along the wall is the Vinebreaker mines. I'll talk more about the mines later, and we have a couple quests to do in there, not a big deal, but it is a good grind spot until level 10, and maybe a little bit more above level 10 too, if you can get it all to yourself. And it's also a good spot to farm some 2-star mobs, which are, I don't know what they're called, I just know they have 2 stars, they're a little bit more tough, but they do drop rare crafting materials almost 100% of the time, which means it could be a good source of money or crafting if you go that route. Anyway, it's been over 5 minutes. We can go back to town, get those metal fragments, start cooking more metal fragments, and then with that, we can start to assemble our super weapons, and then we'll hit up the mines and have a good grind time. Alright, so we have 18 at home. We got 10 more. That's 28. We only need 33. In our inventory, we have 8 zinc, so I'm just going to cook the 8 zinc here real quick. Again, we go to smithy, get the ash, and I know I've already taught you how to do this. I'm not wasting your time. There are people that will literally forget, so I have to remind them every step of the way, because if not, they will be asking in the comments, okay? This character's name is Suck My Dick. That's funny. I'm so easily amused, guys. Alright, put in the zinc. That's another, 4-minute cook time. While we're doing that, we're going to cook the fish oil. So we need to find the cooking bench. So I'm looking for the little crock pot, the little... what is it? The little stove icon. Why is my map not working? Huh, there it is. But yeah, this icon, it looks like a cooking pot. Alright, we're going to find the cooking pot. And we're going to go to oil, and we're going to go to frost flash oil. And we need grease weft cloth. So we are going to go to the cookhouse vendor and then type grease. No. You know what? We don't buy the cloth from the cooking vendor. We buy it from the laboratory vendor. So... yeah, I don't know why that is, but the laboratory vendor is near the little magical staff icon. I'll show you. I have to show you, okay? This crafting bench is called an arcane engineering bench. It looks like a magic staff, and usually near it is the laboratory vendor. So we need to buy the grease weft cloth from that person, and we need to buy 8 of these. There we go. That'll only cost us 96 copper. Very cheap. Such a cheapo. And with that, we can now cook the fish into oil, and then oil up our bow so we can shoot guys. There we go. I know, right? So, you know the drill. Grab the quantity, grab your fish, and throw them in. That's going to take 4 minutes, and yeah, I'm just going to, re-record when we're 4 minutes into the future. Alright, we claim the frost flash oil. There we go. Let's go get our metal shards, and we're out of here. And the metal shards are also done. Now we can go back to hammer rest and forge our weapons. Remember, we have commissions, so I'm going to kill 4 mountain lions, because why not? Now, another important reason to do the to do the commissions is because of the destiny in the adventure column, which is complete 5 commissions. So by doing this, you unlock the next reward box, which would give you a very nice defensive pants. You can see here that the pants I have, even though it's a green quality pants, it's only 50 defense. This one is 123 defense. So very, very good. You can also just join someone's party real quick and then leave, and that would also work. But, you know, I did promise you at the start of the video, no grouping, and I meant that, that you can, again, everything I'm showing is completely solo. All right, we're back in town. We're going to claim the Tendonite fragments, and there we go. We should now have enough metal. The way I like to do this is I like to just store everything that isn't glint, and then pull out what we need. That way it's just nice and tidy and snappy and... yeah, you get the idea. So we're going to need 20 Anvil's Essence, alright? We're going to need 33 metal fragments, so that's 17 plus 27. And then just pull them all out. It's where I don't need to pull the exact amounts out. We need the Frost Flash Oil. There we go. And, I should have, I thought I crafted more, cloth. Where is my cloth at? Well, either way, we need all the wood, so we'll just go ahead and pull all the wood out. And we're going to need at least 3 granite, so we'll pull that granite out. Oh yeah, that's right, we never finished the bag quest. I got a little carried away. Yeah, let's go back to the Weaver and claim our 23 course thread. There we go. Now also, that quest, we might as well finish it up. It wants us to purchase a Packright's Universal strap set. So we're going to buy 2 of those. Alright, 1 and 2, go ahead and purchase that, there we go. And now when we go over here to the tailor, in order to craft the bag, we have the coarse thread. You can only craft them 1 at a time, 5 coarse thread, 1 Packright's Universal strap set, and then we will craft it for 75 copper. It only takes a few seconds, and then we will do that 1 more time, because we want 2 bags, because they're nice bags. And that completes the bag crafting quest, and we will turn that in just a bit. But we're going to craft our weapons first, because that quest has us carry a pack, which means we could get ganked and lose our stuff, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to leave this quest completed for just a tiny, tiny bit, and what we're going to do is we need to craft 3 granite weapon molds so that we can craft... I know we're crafting 2 weapons, but we need 3 molds. Trust me on this, okay? So we're going to go over here to the stone mason bench, and this is the bench... that looks like the bricks, okay? It's over near the storage, near the mailbox. You know where that's at. And we need to craft weapon mold. Do not craft armor mold. As a matter of fact, close armor mold completely. We're going to need 3 binding resin, alright? So just go to the Stoneworks vendor and buy 3 binding resin. Very cheap. They're 8 copper each. Alright, awesome. Go ahead and, again, close armor mold. I did this in a video where I accidentally crafted armor mold. Open weapon mold. Click on granite weapon mold, add your 3 granites. I swear hello? Oh. You have to make sure the quantity is 3, otherwise it won't let you add them all. Duh. And then add your 3 processed timber. Alright, there we go. We are going to now start that for 1 silver. It's going to take 1 minute and 30 seconds. And that's fine. So while that happens, we can go and craft our bow. And we're going to go outside to do that. So here we are outside. We're actually going to go to this carpentry bench. This is a hand saw, not the table saw, but the hand saw icon. All right, and we are going to go down here to longbow, and oh, you know what? I'm sorry. We have to turn in the bag quest to get the recipe for the weapons. Oops. It's not an oopsie. I'm making this apparent on purpose because I had someone following 2 of my other guides, and they got lost at the step of, where do I get the recipes? You get the recipe when you return to Provisioner Hammersong to show him, her, whatever this is, the bag you crafted. I guess that's a dude. So we're going to hit complete. And then we're going to pick up the next step for the quest. All right? And hit accept. There we go. So you'll notice that we have a weapon box and a recipe box. Now it wants us to do the pack moving thing. So, at this point, you would store everything so you don't get ganked and lose your stuff, especially that you've spent all this time doing, but I'm a risk taker. And all we gotta do is take it across the hallway, down past the storage. It's not a far, run. Just use your dodge rolls. There's no players around, so there's, well, unless there's like a stealth level 25 rogue. But, man, that would be a small jackpot for them if they killed me right now. There's guards, and, yeah. You still lose 25% anyway. Don't do what I'm doing. Murphy's Law. If something bad can happen, it will happen. So, again, do not take the risk I'm taking. I am just using myself as an example, and I secretly hope that for the views that someone would gank me, just so I can be like, I told you so, and then off camera I'd refarm the ingredients that I lose. But you can see here, we just go right across the hall, and instead of turning this in to the NPC, we turn this in to this scaffolding instead, alright? And so you go to the scaffolding, you push F, and there we go. We have now delivered it. Now, you don't talk to this NPC. They don't have a quest or anything for us. And you go back to Provisioner Hammersong. And remember, hey, my PvP protection... No, that's not PvP protection. That's the same icon, but that is that town boost I got. So I am not PvP protected right now. Yeah, we go, and we turn this freaking quest in. We get the recipe. So there we go. That does it. Awesome. All right. So, we have to talk to one more NPC. We're going to go back to Commander Dune's Chasm, who's down here, who says, up for an adventure? All right. We're going to be on the table like a klutz. There we go. We did it. All right. So now we have the recipe chests. Let's open the potion ones first. We're going to open a potion recipe and learn Arcane Potion. Then we're going to open the other potion recipe and learn Might Potion. They're the same. Don't pick the same recipe twice. That would be stupid. Might Potion, Arcane Potion. We're not using those. Now, you're going to open your Recipes of Weapon box, and you're going to select the Wayward Longbow, and click that one. Then you're going to click on your second weapon box, and you're going to learn Wayward Great Sword, and you're going to learn those recipes. Now, we can actually craft those items, and those, the molds should be done because it's been 1 minute and 30 seconds. I mean, and my recording software says it's been 3 minutes. There we go. We got the 3 granite weapon molds. And we'll craft the sword, and then we'll go outside and craft the bow, and we will go from there. And no, I'm not going to stop the recording. I'm just going to keep yapping. So, here we go. We have everything we need in our inventory. We should. We're going to go over here to the weaponsmithing station. We're going to click sword. We're going to click Wayward Sword. And you'll see it needs a sword's final touches. So we're going to go over here to the smithy vendor. And that's what they sell under materials. So I'm just going to type sword for sword final touches. Buy one of those. It's 8 copper. Super cheap. What a deal. Alright. And now when we go to sword, you'll see it has a little 1 next to it in parentheses. We'll click that. We'll add the metal. We need 30 metal. There we go. And then we need 7 timber. Well, we got plenty of that. 3 weapon molds. And 10 essence. Alright, there we go. We can now craft this Wayward Greatsword. It is done. So check it out. Our old sword had 397 physical power. This one is almost double. It's 693. We had 34 strength. We're going to have 59 now. 42 constitution, so we're going to get a bunch of HP. We also get 173% physical speed from this sword. Whereas the other one only had 99. It also had physical crit power. This one does not. So that's the only thing you're really losing is physical crit power. But you're getting so much more physical attack power. It is way better. Boom. There we go. Awesome. Awesome stuff. And we're going to go ahead and sell the old sword so we don't accidentally re-equip it for some weird reason. And now we're going to go outside and get a really good bow that's going to also increase our HP by a whole bunch and give us even more power. And remember, the power from your bow also increases the power of your sword swings, and vice versa. Only shields do not count unless you have them pulled out, okay? So just keep that in mind. That's how the game works. I didn't program the game. Steven Sheriff had someone do that for him, okay? Go here, again, originally to the carpentry. You'll notice that this time, the Wayward Longbow needs a longbow final touches. Well, it's the same thing. Go to the wood shop vendor, and then we'll just type bow for longbow, and then buy that. And there we go. Very simple stuff. Go back to the bench, and craft our longbow. We have 46 processed timber. Boom, boom, boom. We have 13 thread. We got it. 8 fish oil. There you go. And dropped essence. Boom. Done. Easy peasy. Let's craft the bad boy. Now check this bow out. This is a mean, nasty bow. We went from 447 to 779, 50 crit power to 86 crit power, 34 strength to 59, 192 crit defense, who cares? We're fighting mobs. We're not fighting players. Mobs don't really crit us much. So 251 max HP. So now I have upwards of 1,500 HP, 800 mana. We have a lot of attack power. I'm going to sell that old bow so we don't accidentally put it back on. And, yeah. I'm also going to, you know, clean up some of this other equipment. I have a gatherer's chest here. You can open this and put whatever you want in it. It's totally fine. I have no materials in these mining satchels. I'm not going to go mining for a while, so I'm going to swap it to my simple rucksacks that I've crafted instead, so I can just mass grind mobs and have lots and lots of room. And we're going to go sell the glint and store everything that, you know, needs to be storing, and then we're going to buy some buff items and head out for some grinding. Now, at a vendor, after selling the glint, we're going to then just hit repair all equipment, which this button used to not work, and now it does, so that's cool. Otherwise, you hit repair, you open your inventory, and you doink all of your gathering gear. Your gear shouldn't be needing a repair unless you died. Also, I just want to note that I did not get a cape drop this run for some reason, but I also didn't get any ring drops. But we can still get these at the Vinebreaker mines. But before we head out, there is a few things that we want to buy to buff us up, and I'll talk about that right now. Starting with the laboratory vendor, which is next to this magic staff crafting bench, the arcane engineering bench. Talk to them, and they sell mana and health salves. Now, as a fighter, we don't really need mana, so I'm just going to buy some heal pots there. Heal potions, short for heal potions. They also sell scrolls. Now, you can have one scroll buff at a time, or max. And because I want to kill fast, I'm going to go all offense, so I'm going to go Scroll of Strength and buy a bunch of those. And these scrolls, they last 3 hours of real-life time, okay? So again, I'm buying a bunch of potions and scrolls. This is going to cost me 5 silver. I have 38. We got plenty of money now. And with that, we're going to go buy some food buffs, and then we are ready to roll out. The food buffs are at the cooking station outside. At the cooking station, we can go to the cookhouse vendor, and they sell rations. This is just a food to heal your health faster. As a, I almost said warrior, as a fighter, you're going to need a bunch of these. So I'm going to buy 12, you know, whatever. And then you have fresh salad, which is physical damage power. I'm going to buy a bunch of these too. There we go. I hit the wrong button and closed the vendor. Whoopsie. All right, there we go. Buy some of those. Now, you could also buy blackberry compote, which is physical defense, but we're not a tank, and fruit salad is for spellcasters. Also note that this guy sells a fisherman shirt or a hunter shirt if you're into the gathering stuff. But again, it's not something you really need. It doesn't really help too much. It helps a tiny amount. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go south, down the road, past the trade, the Hammer Rest Trade Outpost, down here into the river, into the Vinebreaker Mines. We're going to do some quests there, and then we're going to grind, and we're going to basically grind there until we're level 10. Now, if it is busy at the mines, if there's a lot of players or groups of players that are hogging all the spawns, obviously you won't grind there. Instead, you come back up here, you grind the mountain lions. As of level 8, and we're very close to level 8, grinding the clay mobs in the starter area here in the mountain, whatever they're called, little clay statues, you know, the ones we farm the essences from, those guys are not really worth farming at level 8 anymore. You can. If all the other zones are, like, crowded, you could go there, but it's slower now, and the drops aren't worth it. And if you've been gathering a bunch, just note that the storage clerks at each little town, they are separate. All right, so you can see here, Hammer Rest, I have my stuff stored there. I can't pull it out. Hammer's Rest Trade Outpost is its own storage. Also, I guess, I don't know why I have a crate. That's weird. I didn't put a crate here, but Wait, in case you're worried about dying at Vinebreaker Mines, you'll respawn right here. You don't have to set your home here if you don't want to, because it's the closest respawn to the area, so it'll just prompt you, hey, do you want to respawn here? Because we haven't discovered any of the other respawns in the area, so it's up to you what you want to do. It's a safe thing to do if you want, but if you die, it's the closest one. Alright, so once you're at the Vinebreaker Mines, I'm going to show you my favorite route through the mines. Now, in the entrance here, there's a few things we need to loot for a quest. These little glowing rocks on the ground that are smoldering. I know it's dark. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. Alright, so there we go. We got the pulsating ore. Now, my favorite route is as soon as you enter the mines, hug the rightmost wall, and then jump up this ledge. This is the fastest way to the 2-star mobs. There's also a bunch of rocklings that spawn here. And these guys are very easy to kill, and you can pull so many mobs. just be aware that in the mines, there are a lot of elite mobs. There's a lot of 1-star mobs, but also a lot of 2-star mobs. It looks like there's someone here farming these rocklings, so I'm going to turn around and cleave them all here, and then whirlwind them, and again, they're just going to melt. And they have good loot. They drop a lot of glint, all right? And you're going to level very fast here. But again, there's a lot of, like, this is a level 11 cleric. I don't know why they're here, like, and I don't know why they're healing me. But, yeah, and then we have, what is this, a 13 cleric as well. Yeah, sometimes high levels that are just too timid and they haven't found a better spot. They seem to be camping here, but I'm just going to tag the mobs, you know, as fast as I freaking can. And, by the way, in some of these rooms, the rocklings refuse to move. And yes, that was a lag spike. I have an older computer. Alright. Yeah, some of these are elite mobs, so I gotta be a little bit more careful. I want to make sure that I fight these guys at, you know, with a proper rotation. So we're gonna build up our, what is this? This is momentum all the way up. There we go. We're gonna use War Cry, and then we're gonna whirlwind. Alright, and that's gonna nuke a lot of their health down. Not all of it, but it's gonna get them pretty damn close. Alright. And there we go. And then we finish this one off, and you'll see there's a green drop on a body there. Very nice. And this only took half my health. We killed him very, very quickly. We're getting a lot of XP. We're completing quests. Now, Animist. Animist is the caster version, and this is an elite mob. The casters will boop you around. They'll knock you on your ass. Also, we are not built to defend against magic, so they're going to hit you a bit harder. So if you pull a bunch of mobs, and this guy is pulling me, and look at that sexy dodge roll. Got it just in time, right? The Animist, you want to, this is your, like, focus target. You want to kill this sucker first, and I just pulled 2 of them. So I'm going to pop a potion, just as a precaution here. Alright, and yeah, I'm getting booped around. They're going to knock me around. That's just what they do. Alright, and we're going to whirlwind early here and try to kill them. There we go. So yeah, not the best pull, but you can see we deal a lot of freaking damage. But we still have this Animist to deal with. We have half our HP. We pulled the Sentinel, but the Sentinel is not an elite mob. We should be fine. Alright, we got this. And again, the potion helped us out. That's just how it is, alright? Pretty simple stuff. We got this fight. You don't need to see the rest. So when we hit level 8, which should be... Oh, I thought I timed it just right. I'm at 99.7. I was gonna, like, make it a cool, like, video transition thing. But we'll just kill a Rockling and do it that way. You know, whatever. There we go. This will ding us 8 for sure. I'm pretty sure. Except I missed the, I thought this Rockling had me aggroed, but I guess not. Anyway, so now that we're level 8, we got a little bit more stats. The enemies won't hit us as hard, and it's time to pick another skill. I also want to talk about the weapon abilities here. You have increased duration of weapon procs, which would be for the keen edge here, not so much for this one down here. And all weapon combo attacks. We just want more damage on the bow, and for the sword, same deal. Though, you can also go the crit route here. So I'm going to actually go the crit one, the Executioner one. Again, there we go. So what about skills? So what I highly recommend is that for Blitz, that you just go Raging Blitz. This gives you 20 combat momentum, which is how you can build up and whirlwind enemies faster, which is your main DPS ability. Here's one of the harder 2-star mobs. This is Calcitooth. In order for you to beat him as a fighter, you want to really build up your combat momentum, preferably. You want to circle strafe behind him at all times. You'll notice he has a red circle underneath him, and you want to stay with that red arrow under the circle, not pointing at you, preferably. Alright, so always make sure that whenever Calcitooth does an ability, he has Rock Throw, and he has Haymaker. So if he Haymakers, just run behind him. That's fine. There's a Haymaker. I'm behind him. Boom. He won't hit us with that. If he does a Rock Throw, halfway or slightly after the halfway point of his cast bar, do a combat dodge roll. And yeah, there's a Rock Throw, so I'm going to now dodge roll, and it hit me anyway, so I didn't time it right. But if he hits me during the dodge roll, then what happens is I have 100% evasion rate. So there's the Haymaker. We're going to get behind him. There we go. We didn't hit him with all the whirlwind, but that's fine. Also, we got, you know, that charge ability for building up our momentum again. But yeah, I'm staring right now. I'm just, you know, staring at his cast bar. There's Rock Throw. Get ready to dodge roll and dodge roll. Boom. So I think that still hit me anyway for some reason. But other than that, this fight is just, it's like a tank and spank. It's supposed to be hard. It is an elite mob, right? And oh, there's the haymaker, and I think it whiffed, even though it's kind of in front of him anyway. But again, we deal more damage than he does, and we can absolutely take him on. Just make sure you're using every ability. There's rock throw again. Get ready to dodge it and dodge. And I didn't time it right again. But you can see, even though I'm messing up, we can still take his ass. Now, when you kill Calcitooth, if there are other players around and they know this, they will try to steal the rocklings that spawn. However, it used to be where you couldn't loot Calcitooth until these things were dead, but now you can. So Calcitooth will always drop a rare attention canister, by the way. Very, very cool stuff. He also gives a lot of XP for killing him, so he spawns every 5 to 8 minutes. If you can get him on timer, you can definitely farm him, but oh, dang it. I've also seen it take as long as 15 minutes to for him to spawn. So just be aware. Sometimes it's broken, sometimes it's working. Every patch they're talking about mob spawns, so it'll be fixed eventually. If you can get the rocklings all to yourself, definitely pull all the rocklings you can. Because again, they're the easiest to kill. They give good XP. You don't even have to like base tank them. And then while the rocklings are respawning, you're free to roam around the mines and kill everything else. Now, there's 2 other spawns that are 2-star spawns. So where we found Calcitooth, again, let me show you again the entrance. Let's go back to the entrance. In the entrance, there are some elite mobs. I am not at the entrance. Hold on. Sometimes I get a little bit lost. I was at the entrance. It's just nighttime. So it looked darker than it normally is. Alright. Oh, I accidentally pulled the tank. Why is this guy trying to kill my mobs? I don't know. Sometimes people do that. What level is Sneaky Sneak? He is a level 10 rogue. What is he doing here? No, he's using daggers. He didn't watch my guide. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, normie alert. Anyway, so from the entrance, remember, we take a hard right and we go up here. That's where the rocklings are. This is, again, you want to try to control these spawns. Other groups are usually up here. The rocklings have a great drop table, but the first elite mob will spawn right here where this guy is running, this 13 cleric. But yeah, right here where these little mine carts are. Is he pulling these? I want them. They're mine now. No, get back here, rocklings. What the frick? Get over here. Yeah, why does he have aggro? What the... I guess because he healed me. I don't know, man. I'm literally killing them, and they're not turning around and fighting me. Aggro's busted sometimes. Ooh, look at that. Deepwater Bastions, Sabatons. Yeah, I already have those. Okay, cool. But, but yeah, right here is where a 2-star elite mob spawns. It can be Calcitooth. It can also be a, it looks like a minecart that's like a robot minecart. And it's really easy to kill. It's the easiest mob in here to kill. That's like a 2-star elite mob, right? Calcitooth being the hardest. As you go deeper into the mines, you'll notice here there's like a bunch of mine carts against a bright area. A kind of turret monster can spawn here, but also the chain wound, which I think these guys are trying to grab. Yeah, they're gonna grab chain wound. Chain wound is also very difficult unless you fight him solo. If you've cleared all the mobs around chain wound, it's easy. Now this is a level 11 cleric, so he's over leveled for this, and clerics can solo this. I've actually, damn, that thing came out of nowhere. I've actually made a cleric guide already that talks about killing chain wounds. So again, you can still do it, and I was gonna show off how to do it, but I wanted to be at full HP first. And he drops a golden thread, which again, I don't know what it's used to craft, but hey, I mean, this guy's a cleric. He should be fine. He's got, I don't know, he's burning a lot of mana there. I don't know, but yeah, he's definitely got it. He's not gonna die here. Ooh, he took a big hit. What? Maybe that cleric does not know how to gears. I don't know. We'll check in on him later. I gotta grind. What's more important than killing the 2-star elites is just grinding the mobs. So just grab as many of them as you freaking can, right? There we go. And then just nuke them all down. That's the goal right now. There we go. And I could have built more momentum up for a longer whirlwind, but these things melt anyway. And you can see they have good gear drops. They don't really hurt us that much. Even the mages can barely tap us. Just run through the mines, pull a whole bunch of mobs, and nuke them down over and over and over until you're level 10. Also do commissions in between. Make sure you loot everything, and when you have a big fat stack of loot, make sure that you leave and, you know, go sell it, storage, put it in storage, whatever you want to do. Remember, you can mount up in here and ride around, right? It's a lot faster just to, you know, go from pull to pull on your mount. But yeah, it's however you want to play it, you do you. So anyway, the main story-ish quest that you have turns into Dark Machinations, and that tells you to deliver intel to the Hammerguard scout in a settlement. So the way this quest works is it wants you to go to a settlement, which you can't do settlements till 10. So you can run all the way over here, and, you know, go to this settlement for that scout. You can go down here for this settlement for that scout, and so on. So you don't need to rush to turn this in. It doesn't. There's no follow-up. You just turn it in. That's it for questing in the anvils. I know the Riverlands have way more quests. You can always ride down there and do the quest later, but you know, that's it for your main story quest. All you have left right now is commissions. And yeah, there's a few other random quests sprinkled around the zone, but they're not really good to do until you're above level 10 or even level 20. So if anyone complains about these clay statues' death animations where they literally freeze on the frame that they died and tumble over, they're a freaking statue. 2, World of Warcraft, the statue mobs died the exact same way in, what was it, that one level 40 instance, I forget the damn name. Uldaman, was it? I forget. So when you have the caves all to yourself, I generally do a rotation of, I pull the entire Rockling hallway, and then I clear out all the elites in the entrance, and then I come back through this hallway. If the elite mob spawns, I kill it, and then I go down following the Rockling hallway and kill a bunch of the Clayborns that are in there. Not the Animists. It's a waste of time to fight the elite Animists. They take too long to kill. They're just annoying. But yeah. And remember, your rotation is pretty simple. You just want to make sure that you just one-tap the Rocklings. There's always players down in here, even at like 2 in the morning on a dead server. Oh, there's Calcitooth. So, if I am doing the Rockling hallway and Calcitooth spawns, I won't do the full hallway. I will purely focus Calcitooth. But the Rocklings are so easy that I could kill them along with Calcitooth. So yeah, I'm just gonna whirlwind and spin around and jump, and they're all gonna die. So not a big deal. Pretty simple stuff. We're gonna charge there, and again, all the Rocklings are dead. I'm gonna loot them before they become open loot for someone running by. We got Rock Throw coming. We actually got the dodge that time. Again, you don't need to see another Calcitooth fight. I'll skip ahead to the other pulls. Also note, Calcitooth can drop 10 silver worth of glowing glint too, so it's very, very nice. You should always kill him when it's up. I know it takes longer to kill him than the other mobs, but again, he gives good XP. Look at that. 9,254 XP, so that is a chunk right there. And, like, you kill him 9 times, that's from level 8 to 9. Easy. Alright, so the second pull, what I normally do, and I normally do this at higher health. I'm gonna clear these Rocklings real quick and heal before I show you. By the way, as you farm these tunnels... Oh, someone's doing the pulls down there. As you do these tunnels, make sure you, you know, consolidate all of your glint, make it nice, neat little stacks. Because if you don't, you're going to very quickly run out of room. Also, the mobs down here in these dungeons, they drop basalt, so, and sometimes granite, I believe. I'm pretty sure they also drop granite, so just keep your inventory tidy. But okay, so anyway, after I pull the Rocklings, I come down here where freaking Zorp is, and yeah, I just pull a big circle around this whole room. You have elites. Sometimes these elites get stuck on the fireplace and they won't come down, so if that happens... Wait till the next server restart. But there's a bunch of mobs here. You can pull like 6 or 7, and oh man, and kill them all. And then after that, we mount up. Let me just kill this guy. I'll show you. We're gonna mount up and dash back down this hallway into the other. Oh, is there someone? Yeah, there's someone doing the pulls. Frickin' Zorp. Anyway. It's like, let me have my own dungeon, dang it. Is he using a spellbook as... Oh, yeah, he's a mage, never mind. I was like, what is he using a spellbook? But yeah, and then I pull the Sentinels. So I pull this guy, this Animist. I always kill this Animist first, because the Animist will cast spells through walls at you. It's so stupid. So just kill him real quick. Don't try to pull them. They won't line of sight around the tunnels. Pull all of these guys. Now, here's the thing with the clay dudes. You can pull them on a downward slope, but not on an upward slope. They won't follow you up the slope because, well, sometimes they do, but most of the time they don't. Also, lag spike. Every time I go into this chunk of the map, it has to load something. I don't get near these Animists. I do not touch them. They're not scary per se. They're just not worth the time to kill. They're not worth the XP, the rewards, or anything. And there we go. And you can see, again, you know, with this gear, we just absolutely body these guys. Just make sure you're doing your proper skill rotations, and they will die super duper quick. You get plenty of XP. Look, I'm almost level 9, right? And they drop plenty of glint, plenty of loot. I actually managed to get a ring drop. I just need one more ring and a cape, and then I'm all fully geared. Anyway, after that pull, assuming there wasn't another player stealing the pull, this is when I would run back up to the rocklings, which they would then be ready to harvest once again. The mobs at the front entrance would be ready to harvest once again, and then on the way back, the elite would respawn, ready to be killed. Alright, and there we are. We have now hit level 9. Guy tried to steal my Calcitooth spawn, but whatever. That's why we got it timed. And, yeah, so from level 9 to 10, you just repeat the same exact thing. You come here to the mines, get a bunch of these commissions, do your commissions. If you get bored, go do gathering commissions or whatever you want to do. And, yeah, stack commissions, and then you'll be level 10. Now, again, the time it took you to go from 8 to 9, it's slightly more than double from 9 to 10. It is a process, it is a grind. And from 10 on, it is even slower. So get ready and, you know, get ready. Hold on to your butts or whatever you want to say. But anyway, what about your skill tree? So, yeah, we've been going executioner. So we're going to, again, a little lag spike there. We're going to put a point there. And same deal, damage focus on your bow. And stamina, again, this stuff doesn't matter too much. You can use whatever you feel like. Now, for your skill... So my recommendation is Lethal Blow because it's another ability that you can start casting. It's really good to finish off elite mobs faster, tougher mobs players when you do PvP. And then at level, 10, you can choose Consuming Lethal Blow to heal for 50% of the damage you deal, which means if you're about to kill an enemy and you hit them really hard with a lethal crit blow, yeah, and because their targets are going to be bleeding, so you're going to have that 50% crit, and then later you'll get Rupture so that you can start hemorrhaging enemies, more so tougher, tankier enemies, and this is yet another ability you can just push when everything else is on cooldown. You're going to be running through your abilities, and everything's going to be on cooldown. And then you can also, make it so that your Lethal Blow resets your Raging Blitz. So you can charge to an enemy, nuke his ass down, charge to the next enemy, nuke his ass down, and you just start chaining enemies really, really quickly. However, if you're dealing with healers, you can always unspec 1 point out of something and then put it into Savagery. So that way you're applying Wounded whenever you're just auto-attacking, which what Wounded does is it reduces the healing received per stack up to 10 stacks. So if you're fighting a mob and it keeps healing itself because you're not using an interrupt, like where is Trip or I forget, where is that at? Yeah, Knockout. If you're not using timing Knockout to stop heals, then you can just use Savagery and just out DPS the heals. Of course, you can put points up into these bad boys and just really get the fighter going. But yeah, that's the fighter, guys. This is the best possible start to the fighter. I hope you guys enjoyed the guide. It is the fastest class to level. It's the easiest class to play. It's so easy to gear this character. I did not get a cape, and I didn't get a second ring, so this character still has more to grow, definitely. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. But, we got plenty of money here, too. What do we end with? We usually end the video with about 1 gold. In this case, I have 20. Yeah, I'm a little short this time. Didn't earn as much money this time, but we got 3 of these tension canisters. Didn't do too much farming. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now here's the thing, guys. I have no friends, no family, no life obligation, no job, no hobby. And that means I read every YouTube comment. As a matter of fact, I'll read the top comment, the most recent comment right now. Let me see what it is. Okay. Puddin Manion said in an old video, watching this a year later, and I'm literally a new player, and it's pretty good so far. A lot easier with your guides. I play while watching, so I do it literally. There you go. I read the most recent comment, okay? And, again, if you have any questions, let me know. Please make it relevant to the video. Don't ask me a question about how do I tie my shoes or something, because I'm not going to answer that, okay? I'm just going to be like, why the hell is this guy asking me to tie his shoes? Like a year later, I'm going to be like, why is this guy asking me how to do this? And I'll look at what video you commented on, and I'll be like, huh, what? Anyway. With that said also, you gotta leave a like because there are people that play these types of sandbox games and they do not like when people like me explain how to make the start easy because they like to prey on new players, they like to keep you dumb, stupid, and brainwashed to their methods so that they can recruit you in their guild and make you feel like you have to group with people, that you have to be in a guild and you have to do what they say, or that you have to join their settlement and be their little settlement slave. Look, I'm not about that, okay? I'm about helping the solo player, the guildless, friendless player, the person who's too far gone, who's too soul-crushed from working retail their whole life, or fast food, to ever make friends or bond with anyone ever again. I'm here for you, alright? And with that said as well, again, please leave a like, because if you don't, you know, all these guild twerps, they're going to be downvoting the video and stuff. Finally, the last thing I'm going to ask of you is to click the video on the right side of your screen. If you don't, the next time you go out on a date, your date's going to be late. Uh-oh.